Hi, Vi. How's it going?
Hello, Vaughn.
Greetings,
Welcome
VOD
to the
watchers.
VOD.
Hi, Bod.
Welcome to
Yeah.
this entertainment stream.
Y'all see this painting?
It's a good painting.
It's nice.
Who's that?
Who did it?
I don't know. I think it's a witch.
I like what one person
Yeah.
chat said, staring contest.
Yeah, let's start the first book club of Umineko.
If it have it blink like in the middle of the VOD, it's like, wait, what?
Oh,
Who saw that?
don't give me ideas. Oh, that's too good. Oh, that's too good. Hi, everybody, and welcome to it's book club number 2, baby. We're doing Umineko part 1. Part 1 of what I have been assured will take us at least a 10th of our lives to go through. All right, y'all. I'd like to, first off, thank you to everybody who has reached out since Higurashi Book Club started and ended, and gave me really nice comments and said really nice things about it. I'm very happy with how that came out, and yeah, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully this will be just as entertaining and enjoyable. And another thing I wanted to get out of the way before starting is thank you so much to Jan and Gail for helping out and making this happen. I'm not kidding. I would not be doing this. I would not be playing this game. I would not be where I'm at right now, sitting right here, if it wasn't for Jan and Gail. So thank you so much to all the effort that you both have put into this. And did you want to say anything before we get started?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure. I've got we can get into it later, but I've got a 1-minute summary as opposed to the fucking 20 minutes I used to do. And
We've tweaked the formula a little bit.
yeah, and also just, of course, a light reminder to everyone who knows, let the newbies talk first.
Yeah, they want to see us trip on all of the rakes. They laugh so hard when we fall on our ass with our dumbass theories. I watch some of the previous book club segments and I cringe at how my dumbass theories were going all over the place. But you know, that's part of the fun. It's I've got so many dumb theories right now. It's crazy. So thank you. All right. Yeah, they're posting the Simpsons rake gif in the Discord. So let's go ahead and introduce our crew for number 1. So first, if you want to just say hi, hello, give me a good old how are you? Let's go ahead and say hi to Gail.
Hello. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Indestructible Cat.
Hey, yo, glad to be talking to you in the year of 2023, when this is happening right after Higurashi.
Right after, yep, just exactly. That's another thing. Thank you for reminding me. I did want to apologize from the bottom of my heart that it took forever for us to get to Umineko. I know that a lot of you were waiting for us to get started. iCat being one of those people. And and then you finished the playing Umineko by the time we just got started. So apologies that it took so long.
It's incredible. I finished it and I was like, well, Bob's not gonna get around to it. And literally 3 weeks later.
Yep. That's how it goes. That's how it rolls. So another thing I wanted to do when you introduce yourself, if you could tell us what your familiarity level is with Umineko. Because I know Jan, Gail, and Indestructible Cat obviously have already played. They know everything. They're gods. So they're the ones who are going to be manipulating little old me, who is just getting into this and misdirecting me, making me go down horrible avenues of introspection, and it's going to be awful. They're really truly terrible people. Sad.
We are the witches.
It's true. You're all.
I believe.
Beatrice.
I believe I'm also a witch here. I've read all of Umineko.
And your name is
Madison. I'm sorry for not leading with that.
No, it's all good.
No, I don't know. I loved Umineko when I read it. I've cooled a bit on it now, and honestly, I'm just hoping hearing people go through it for the first time and laughing as they step on a bunch of rakes will help me fall in love again.
I'm already stepping on some rakes. All right, Kratom Arcana, how are you?
I'm feeling fantastic. I love Umineko. I'm a big fan of Ryukishi work in general. Higurashi, Umineko, Ikenbana, Rose Guns Days, the petri dish we have of Konya so far. So I always love listening to newbies with Umineko. Just like to listen, especially as early as it is. Just to sort of listen to your early thoughts so far. It's really cool.
Awesome. Glad to provide early thoughts. Mel, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, first time here. Could be doing better. Just got off some really fast boat and feeling really sick.
Ooh.
Screamed a lot.
Did you fall?
No, but I felt like I was the entire time. And my entire family laughed at me.
Horrible.
But yeah, I am new to Umineko. I read Higurashi back in like 2021.
All the
So
way
this-
back in 2021.
Yeah, back in
The
days
halcyon days of
when I was a wee
2020.
lad. So basically, this book club's perfectly timed for the 5th anniversary of my read of Higurashi.
Hell yeah.
I think I discovered the book club like in 2023 after it already happened. When I was like, I have not read Sakurashi, so I should do that. But I should also refresh myself on Higurashi. Can I go find a way to do that? And I found the book club, so I was like, oh, this is convenient. And then they were good. I was like, well, I may as well stick around for when Umineko happens. And now we're here.
Hell yeah. And now you're part of it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the process.
It's all part of the process. Rusty Cat. Don't you agree?
Konbawa, or good evening, Bob Sama.
Oh no.
I as you can see, I am the funny maids, and
It's true.
my familiarity.
I'm always going on IKEA and seeing pictures of them because they're furniture. That's the joke.
My level of familiarity is that I have not read past where you are currently, but I want to say like a decade ago or more or less, I did see a character and went on a fandom wiki binge. And afterwards I thought, oh, I must have spoiled myself on the entire mystery, but as I'm learning, there might actually be more mysteries that I have yet to solve.
If Ryukishi's good for anything, it's a turducken of mysteries. You can put that on. That's Ryukishi's box quote. You can go ahead and have that, Ryukishi. You're welcome. Spider-Man, did you want to say anything, or did you want to kind of?
Hi, I'm SHM. That easier to say and type. So, shum. Yeah, shum. I like that. I played the 4 question arcs of Umineko 14 or maybe 15 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
And
the
then
music track shifted as soon as you said that, and it was perfect.
And then when it came time for the answer arcs, I would have had to pay for those. And I did not have money at the time. So it goes, I suppose.
So it goes, I suppose. Draconic Wolf, how are you?
Oh, I am good.
Did you want to? Yeah, tell us about your history with Umineko. I almost said Higurashi out of habit.
Well, I actually have history with both. Higurashi I actually was introduced to way back in 2010, believe it or not, by a friend of mine. And it was through the anime at first, but then I moved to the visual novels and realized, wow, the wealth of knowledge. And then
they're pretty different, I've learned.
Very. And Umineko I got introduced to because it was the, as I say, the love letter to Ryukishi's work. And I honestly got led to here, believe it or not, through the book club. And then heard about that Umineko was being brought up, and I was like, I want to get on this train. Or in this case, this boat.
Welcome to the caboose of the boat of Umineko. Does that work? Or we're gonna go with that? Also, chat, debate amongst yourselves about whether we're going to call ourselves, because with Higurashi it was cicada heads. We're thinking gull heads, maybe bird brains. That might. I like heads though.
I do like gull heads. That does sound.
Gull has a ring to it.
Yeah.
I do like head.
I do like head.
I'm Team Bird Brains all the way.
High Cat was complaining about the size of his sword in the previous Night Rain session we had. Didn't realize what he said. I was giggling like an idiot. He was attacking and his sword was so big that it kept hitting the side of the wall. And he was like, my katana's too big. Anyway.
It was though.
It was though. It was. I could see. It was very frustrating. I could tell. Talsriel,
Hello.
You seem familiar.
I am. I was a habitual rate stepper back on the Higurashi book club, and my familiar with Umineko is much like SHM. I read through the first 4 arcs, the question arcs, before the pandemic. I'm not sure exactly how long it's been. Not quite as long as SHM did. But in my case, I was reading it on the LP archive at the time, just because that's where I happened to encounter it. And the Let's Players split the thread. So I read the question arcs, and I had no idea that there was anything more than that until I went back to the archive thread sometime during the Higurashi stream, and I saw the other half of it posted, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's more? Well, that would make sense, but
You sound like me in The Wire when I accidentally skipped what everyone considers to be the best season. People were referring to moments from the show, and I was like, I do remember that one time that I saw a clip, and I didn't see it in the show. Turns out I skipped season, 5, I think? And I skipped season 4 and went straight to, I went from season 4 to season 6, the final season, and it was, that was horrible. Oh no. But this is better because now it seems like a few of you are going to be, you're going to be robots. You're going to be sneaky and planning a bunch of rakes for us, but then you're going to be stepping on some rakes yourselves later on. That's interesting. Interesting. Jan, did you want to talk a little bit about the process here, what we're planning on doing, and then we can get into, I don't know if you wanted to structure this like we can talk about our initial feelings or we can go into chapter summaries. How are you feeling?
Well, first, to give my familiarity,
yes,
Ryukishi once drew for me a picture of Beatrice, and I have it in my room.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
you need to show it. You need to.
I'll go find it. I'll go find it. Take a picture of it.
Please do. Scan it.
It is one of my greatest treasures.
That's awesome.
That was back in Anime Expo 2015 when the Steam, like the manga gamer thing was announced.
Oh yeah.
That's what that was from.
All right.
So, what I was thinking would work best is if we let the complete newbies get into it first and kind of hash out your thoughts about what's going on. And then once we get to a good point to start giving supporting details and information in a safe way, of course, then we can start coming in with you. But I do think that we should definitely give floor to the complete newbies first. And we can all just kind of laugh at you from the shadows. I do have
You have a whole Discord dedicated to laughing at us.
We do. We've had it for several years. I have a quick, 1-minute summary just to get through what we know.
Sure.
Basically, I'll probably do this in 30 seconds even. We arrive at the island, meet the family, figure out some intrigue, see some shit happen, and then the night ends.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's very, yeah. That happens. I challenge anyone to say that didn't happen.
Yeah, I've got a slightly more in-depth one where it's 1 sentence per chapter on the doc thread. And then if you want even more information to refresh yourself, recommended only for people that have finished the episode, I have a link to the wiki that has it, a more in-depth summary. But of course, if you're going to the wiki, even on the sidebars, be careful.
That's dangerous.
I'm recommending this only for people that have finished the series. If you want a quick refresher on what happened specifically in this section of the first episode, so you can remember what did and didn't happen, and just limit yourself to that.
Okay, I guess I can start us off. So this is the Maria show. Everyone else is inferior. I don't really care about anyone else besides Maria. They could all, they're on the chopping block as far as I'm concerned. So in all honesty, I thought it would be fun to kind of, for me, go through all of the characters, and we can maybe, the new people can maybe give our thoughts on, and the old people, the old heads, all gull heads alike. Gull heads unite on how you feel about some of these characters. Maria, how old is she? She's like 9, I think.
9 years old.
Very cute. She is, for people who played Higurashi, you can kind of see a couple different characters from Higurashi kind of molded into one character. And a couple of those characters were my favorite characters from Higurashi. So I won't say who they were, because that's another thing we should say. No spoilers for Higurashi. If anyone comes in on Umineko, I don't want to ruin their experience of Higurashi, because that was wonderful. I know a lot of you are coming from Higurashi Book Club, but there is a chance that people are interested in Umineko specifically. So I'm just going to blanket statement say that. So who doesn't think Maria is an S tier character? And let me know where you live so I can send the hate mail. All right, no one said anything, so that means Maria is universally loved. Moving on. Badler. No.
I think Kinzo would disagree with your assessment. We can't say he's wrong.
Yes, Kinzo is wrong. I guess, we should talk about Kinzo, because Kinzo and Nanjo were, is that the correct? I think that's their names. They were the first characters we saw. Like at the very beginning, we get introduced to Umineko, and it's Kinzo screaming, "That is the wrong button. Thank you, brain." Screaming, "Beatrice!" So, Kinzo loves Beatrice. Oof, indeed. By the way, a certain ow ow is on the soundboard for eagle-eyed, for gull-eyed viewers. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a custom sound in there. But, oh, Beatrice! That is, Kinzo is not on my soundboard currently. I will correct that error as soon as we're done here. I had some work to take care of before. I didn't have enough time to put him on there. Him and Maria's wonderful oohs, which probably my favorite moment of the game so far, the visual novel so far, is Rosa, Maria's mom, asking Maria a question. Maria going, "Ooh," and Rosa going, "I don't know what ooh means." What are you talking about? Oh my god. But Kinzo, definitely an entertaining character. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals from him, but at the very least, he's definitely the person who is kind of setting up the setting the wheels in motion. He's got some kind of plan. He's using the servants potentially to help figure out what he needs to do, because the servants are basically eavesdropping for him, letting him know specific things. Kinzo, just real quick, like I'd probably put him in like B tier. He is entertaining as hell. I probably like a B plus. Nanjo's interesting, but I don't know. I think he's like a B, maybe a C plus. Nanjo is the doctor.
Is Nanjo that interesting?
See, that's the thing. I'm like, as I'm talking about it, it's like, I don't know. I just like his vibe. I like the cut of his jib, but at the same time, there isn't really jib to cut. So like, I want to know more about him. He has mentioned his family. I think in his character info, they said some things about how he's no longer practicing. He's the family doctor. He's helping out Kinzo because he is like a friend. At the very beginning of the game, they're like playing chess, and it's like and that's the other thing. Kinzo is like dying. Like he has negative 3 months to live, and then he's living purely because he keeps screaming Beatrice, and that's giving him life apparently. So Najo, I don't know. I need more. I need more from him. That's kind of where I'm at. Any new people have thoughts?
That's just quickly going to say that, like, who wouldn't keep living just to see one witch again?
It's true. I mean, look at her. I get it. No one? Thoughts on the doctor? The family doctor? No, the family doctor is not stirring up any strong feelings. All right. Oh, I just remembered his name. Kraus. I just remembered Kraus's name. Kraus is... How do I say this? Kraus is the guy in the story who's constantly saying, "Oh." He takes after his father. He is the first of the what's the name of the family? Urishu. I forget. I said it earlier and now it like shot out of my brain. Ushiromiya. B Candy, first time chatter. The fact that Kinzo trusts him so much makes him seem kind of interesting to me. Exactly. I'm right there with you. Yeah, exactly. 1000%. Also, thank you, Nighthard, for the sub, the Prime sub. Yeah, Kraus is. I think he's in A tier. Because I should say this. Me putting them in tiers doesn't mean that I necessarily like them. I like that I hate them. Kraus is entertaining as hell. When Kraus is on the screen, he's constantly fucking with his younger siblings. And it's very entertaining to have them try to gang up on him, and he's got like this way of like manipulating them. He's got some information that makes him like dangerous. I love it. He's very conniving. He's very interesting to behold. I guess we should talk about the main character. I just realized we skipped our boy, Battling Person, aka Battler. This boy, I realized I should have the character sprites, but yeah, no, unfortunately I do not. But Battler, his main character, he, oh my god, I want to say A tier, but he keeps talking about things that I wish wouldn't come out of his mouth, and it's one of those things where, man, Higurashi was a little bit like this too at the very beginning. It kind of quickly went away from that stuff, but Battler's he's a teen kid.
He's horny. Battler horny.
I was trying to find another way of saying it, but yes, Battler is horny. And it's a thing. But I will say I think I would put him in A tier purely because I get where he's coming from, and he's a really fascinating character, specifically because we're seeing from his perspective. We're seeing all of these things happening from his perspective, and kind of understanding who he is and his relationship with his parents, and where he's coming from. And I really do, like, personally, I'm kind of estranged from my family, like my larger family, my extended family. We haven't seen each other in years upon years. And recently we got together for a big family thing, and it's hitting that note in my brain of Battler being away from his family for so long, and then coming back and being thrust into all of these dynamics, but remembering familiar faces and wanting to catch up with people. I like that aspect. I really do. I'm also really interested in, because that's the other thing about this family, is that they are, how do I say this? They're rich. They are well off, well to do. And Battler has just come from, I believe, his grandparents, who have both just died, or one of them just died. And thank you, Jan, for the for the names. So he's basically come back. And if I'm getting any of this wrong, please let me know, because this is just what I've gleaned from the previous streams and Discord streams. But like he hasn't really been keeping up with everybody. His father and his mother, that relationship he kind of understands, but he hasn't seen these people in I think it's like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I forget exactly how long. 6. Okay, well that's the other number that I didn't say. So yeah, it's been a while, and so he's kind of getting back into the swing of things, figuring out everybody's like sort of deal. I'm really like the little character moments with Battler and his mom, or his stepmom, and Battler and his father, not so much, but Battler and the other kids, like kind of talking amongst each other, figuring out what's going on. It's really like, yeah, that's kind of the meat. That's kind of what I'm really interested in, because I'm waiting for Battler to kind of like talk about what he's been doing for the past 6 years and how he feels about being thrust into this stuff, because we really haven't gotten that yet. It really kind of feels like Battler's putting up like a wall to not really. I don't believe that. I think because a lot of the time he's kind of like, he's goofy. He's that character. But I can tell that there's a little bit more to it. And it really makes me wish that he like opens up more to some of these characters so I can kind of understand where he's at. And I am really itching to learn more about him, basically. George sucks. George is awful. I hate George. George is like D tier, I would say. Maybe that's too rude. Like C-, D+, something like that. George is a cousin of Battler. He is, how old is he? He's like 20?
23.
23. He is basically going into he's got his own little business that he's trying to take over from his father, I believe.
He's currently interning there, yes.
Yeah. So he wants to take control of everything. He is apparently very good with children, which when we're going to talk about it, maybe too good with children. He is probably the most obvious bad guy, or not bad guy, I shouldn't say. Rikishi doesn't really write like that. There was like, I was thinking about this earlier, there was one character who we don't really get their interiority, we don't really get their perspective, and they aren't really given any like grace. There was a character from Higurashi who was basically just like a bad guy. And
Tepe?
Who?
I think you're referring to Satoko's relative, Tepe.
Correct. So like Rikishi, what I'm trying to say is like Rikishi doesn't generally write like that, especially when they're a main character. And some of the characters in here have already made some really fucked up decisions, which we'll get to. But Rikishi's already giving them a little bit of grace and giving them a little bit of like, no, hey, come on, let's understand where they're coming from. So that kind of like empathetic writing is like emblematic of Rikishi, I think. George, I think, is one of those characters who doesn't really understand power dynamics. I guess we can talk about Shannon in the context of this. Shannon's awesome. I'm trying to remember if I got her name right. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, Shannon. Yes. So Shannon, yeah, we ended right when George proposes to Shannon. Shannon is a servant at the Ushiromiya manor, the little the building that they have on the island of Rokkenjima. And I just noticed you have all of these names. It's like Nanjo, the doctor, Genji, old butler, and at the very end, Beatrice, the witch.
That's right.
Oh, I realized there's a character missing from this character sheet. Wow. Anyways. Uh-oh. Don't let her know. So yeah, Shannon. I like Shannon. Shannon's A tier. She's really. she's very she doesn't really have a character yet. She's just kind of like furniture. But like I can see like we're already getting a little bit of her in her conversation with George right when he's proposing to her. It's like I'm suddenly getting like little bits and pieces. She's timid, but she's also like she's sticking it out, man. She's doing it. She's getting shit done. She's doing what she can with what she is capable of, despite Goda being a fucking prick. Anyway, don't like Goda. Goda is like D tier, I think. Anyway, Shannon. Yeah, so George, in the context of George, like Shannon, so Shannon is what, 18, 16?
16.
So 16 at the time that this takes place. By the way, this Umineko takes place in 1986, right?
That's right.
Correct. Okay. So Jan, I had to double check with Jan on this last night when we were playing. George fell in love with Shannon when she was 13?
No, we said that he met her.
He met her at 13.
He
Okay.
was 13 and she was, can you do the math? She started 10 years ago. She's 16.
Okay. I can do the math. I don't want to do the math. The math is cursed. So yeah, from that, it's like, oh. So that's what I mean when I say power dynamics. Like, I don't think, because there is a lot in this game about, like, already, even just the little bit that we've played, the little percentage that we're ticking up to. I'm sure that Ryokishi is going to go somewhere with this, obviously. I can't imagine he wouldn't, but already there's like, George like gives Shannon the ring and is like, oh, like I'm your, like, you can't refuse an order, but you can't though, but you can. And it's just like, what are you doing, guy? Like, this is such a weird abuse of power. And like, I get it. Like they're allowed to fall in love. It just doesn't seem the way that they talk to each other. I mean, it's just George basically like mansplaining, like what, like economics. Although Shannon seems into it, like from the outside perspective, just watching them interact, Shannon does seem like she's into this guy, but at the same time, it's like, what the like, oh no.
Okay, so my feeling is, and I think again I played this like 15 years ago. Like I think like where my head was at when I read this for the first time, and kind of where there's like a niggling bit of it in my mind. It's just like, from her perspective, she's hit the jackpot because she's a servant, and now like this rich guy wants to marry her, and like she's gonna live in a house with her own servants. Like, I'm like, the power dynamics are so fucked up. It is so fucked up for George to do this, but I do think Shannon can look at this and be like, I'm furniture. This is the best I can hope for, which is fucked up and bad. I just think that that's part of her thought process.
Yeah, I don't know enough about her to like kind of really understand where she's coming from. The one thing I did get is that she does seem to be interested in some way. It's just I don't know. I don't know if it's enough for like marriage. Like marriage is a lot. Like
not a healthy one. Like I don't know. Maybe
that it's very interesting that this is brought up like instantly, like with the game. Like we're 10 chapters in of God knows how many chapters there are in this game, and like basically at the beginning of the game, it's like, hey, here's this. Just as it's not healthy doesn't mean it's not love. I mean, yeah, true. No, yeah, Broken Bee. That's one of the things that I was gonna say is like I think that's where Ryukishi's gonna go with this, because I think Ryukishi has had a lot, especially with Silent Hill F. He's had a lot to say about like love, like what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. I believe Ryukishi is quoted as saying that. I think that song was written by Ryukishi.
Yeah, and I think I have a different quote from him, which was "Don't hurt me, no more."
Yes, true. Yeah, that's from the answer arc of that song. I'm quoting the question
Spoilers.
mark. I didn't want to spoil anybody. But what are we doing? Oh, this is so fucking stupid. All right, moving on. But yeah, no, Broken Bee, I'm absolutely with you. I think that, especially with Silent Hill F, like he had a lot to say about like the way that generations, like their views on love, and the fact that you can make the best out of a shitty situation. And I think that that might be where he's going with this. I think coming to any that's what makes the Rosa Maria situation really fucked up to talk about, because we'll get to it, but like I think he's going somewhere with that. Obviously, like he wouldn't be bringing these things up if he didn't want to give them some, he wants you to, especially with Higurashi, he really liked to bring up things and then kind of let you mull over them for like a few like chapters, and then kind of really spring on you like, hey, but did you think about it this way? I mean, there's already talk of one of the better lines in this, one of the better interactions between Battler and his stepmom, Kyrie, is like this idea of taking the chessboard and flipping it around and seeing the other person's perspective on things, and how they're like, you can come to a lot of you can understand a lot more about a person if you view everything from their perspective, which is just, yeah, I mean, spin the chessboard, yes. So I think that that's going to be a thematic thing. I think that's going to be, I mean, the Chivo that we got for completing the chapter was quoting that. It was basically like, so when you spin the chessboard around, it's like you're viewing it from their perspective and all this other shit. So anyway, I have faith that Ryukishi is going to go somewhere with this, and I'm pretty sure I'm quoting myself saying that exact thing from when we played Higurashi in the Higurashi Book Club. Anyways, so yeah, Shannon, I like her. She's cool. I she's just cute. So that's a big thing. Speaking of cute, I realized that Maria didn't get enough time. Maria is awesome. She's 9, and she is just the most fucking adorable character. And her mom is Rosa. Ryukishi really did a number on me, starting the game off with like Rosa, who seems this really nice, kind person. Really, one of the first things you see her do is like kind of check in with the kids, because the kids are Shannon isn't introduced until later, but George, Battler, and Maria are just like the kid, and just the kids. They're doing their own things, and then Rosa comes over and basically is like checking on them, like, hey, what's going on? You know, Jan is pinging you in the chat, putting it here as well. I don't hear music on the call with Twitch muted. Should we be hearing music on the Discord? I thought that music on the Discord would be annoying, because Discord has a habit of like, Discord is built for voice, not necessarily audio. Here, let me go ahead and just, I'll share here. I'll just share this, and hopefully that will let you hear the music. You can just turn that on. Hopefully. Chat, let me know if the stream starts tanking. Please let me at me in the chat as soon as that happens. When you at me in the chat, it highlights your text so that it gets my attention immediately. But yeah, can you all hear that? Is that good?
That's working for me.
We have music, yes.
It's like music from the gods. Thank you.
Okay, sounds like music in here.
It's getting music in here. Who let the music out? Who? I'm cutting all of this out. So anyway, Rosa started S tier. What I was trying to say is Rosa was awesome. I immediately mapped her to one of my relatives, who whenever I go to a family, like extended family outing, I know exactly who she is. I automatically beeline to her to check up on her and see how she's doing, because she's going to do that to me. She's going to go around, check out all the kids, make sure everyone's having a good time. Rosa beefs it hard, to put it lightly. Rosa nosedives. She went from a fucking S tier to like, yeah, award for the worst mother ever. And it's automatically hitting me. Like, we were talking about it. I kind of wish I was streaming it because I wanted to get this reaction, but I'm also grateful that I wasn't, because I did kind of have a bad reaction. Basically, at a certain point, Maria is being hinted at being at the very least, how do I say this? She is
neurospicy.
Neurodivergent.
Neurodivergent, neurospicy.
He's literally neurodivergent in a minor.
Yes, a neurodivergent minor. She says ooh ooh all the time, and it's awesome and cute and it's amazing. And Rosa, it's revealed a little later after she has a really cute moment in a rose garden where George ties a ribbon around a rose that Maria liked, and then they go back right before a storm hits on Rokkenjima, and they find that the rose is gone and it's nowhere to be found. And so Maria starts getting upset, and Rosa comes over and says, "What are you doing? There's no rose here. We've looked for it." Maria says, "No, but the rose." And then Rosa starts beating the shit out of her, just starts smacking her. And it was like, oh no. And the reaction from all the kids, because at that point, Jessica, George, and Battler were just watching this happen. And fuck, man, I don't know if anyone else has been around, like, when a child is being physically punished like that. It's immediately, like, kind of, for me, it's triggering as shit. I have a little bit too much experience with that bullshit, and it suffice it to say, Rosa not here anymore. Rosa down here. Rosa off camera. Rosa down here. But I also understand that, because we were talking about it in the chat, that, like, I am confident that Ryokishi is going to handle this with tact. I'm confident that he is going to do something with this. I am, if anything, like, Ryokishi is a very good character writer. Like, I would dare say the best I've ever seen. He has so much thought put into all of these characters that it's like, it would shock me if Rosa was literally just a, child beater. Like, so, but at this moment in time, that is what she is, and she fucking sucks. Moving on. It kills me, dude. It kills me. I liked her so much. And then that happens, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, you're terrible.
I definitely felt like when it happened, I was like, oh, I knew it was too good to be true that she was the one parent who wasn't outwardly awful.
Exactly. And I guess that's a good point to bring up, that Rosa is the youngest of the 4 children of Kinzo. So the first would be Kraus. Already talked about him. Then would be Ava, who is the mother of George. Then it's the guy from Evangelion, the dude with the glasses, Shinji's dad, whose name I'm blanking on.
Gendo
Ikari. Yeah. Then you have Gendo Ikari, and then you have Rosa. Gendo Ikari is actually, what is his name again? I forget. It's like
Rudolph.
Yeah,
I knew.
Battler's dad.
Rudolph
the red-nosed reindeer. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to remember it, because Battler has red hair. There you go. That's a horrible way of remembering. But Rudolph, yeah. Okay, let's go through this real quick. Rudolph, I have some ideas about where he's coming from and what he's doing. He also had a really interesting moment with his wife and Battler, his son, when Kyrie is his wife, who, by the way, Kyrie S tier. I'm just going to say it. I'm going with my gut. I really like Kyrie. I think that she's a really interesting character, especially when she had that little heart-to-heart with Battler and actually imparted her wisdom onto Battler. Kyrie, if I remember correctly, worked for like some government thing or was like a cop or something before she got into a relationship with Rudolph. Yeah, so Kyrie is great. I really like her. I mean, the cop thing notwithstanding, but she's just really interesting. She's got a really.
I don't recall cop being part of her backstory.
What
Yeah,
was?
I think you invented that because you thought she looked like she'd be a cop.
Oh,
but I don't
is
think
that
that's
what
the
it
thing.
is?
She
What
was
was
just
that's-
Rudolph's business partner.
Business partner. Okay, business partner. I think the reason I did that is because I thought of her as like an assassin, because that's kind of her oeuvre. She's very like, if the words cloak and dagger like apply to her in my mind, and she's already talking to Battler about like spinning the chessboard and stuff. The way that she's thinking, yeah, she either has a background in some sort of nefarious business dealings or some other shit. I think I did invent that because I was like, I had this little pet theory at the beginning, which I don't know if I'm going to keep, about like Rudolph's first wife, Battler's biological mother, getting got, and then his grandparents getting got, and Kyrie potentially being involved. Anyway, that's I don't know if I'm going to keep that, but just
fixer.
yeah, the Catalina wine mixer. Oh yeah, this is basically the Catalina wine mixer. I didn't realize that. Yeah, fucking Catalina wine mixer. Step Brothers, if anyone doesn't care. Anyway, but yeah, Rudolph. I don't know. That Rudolph is like C tier. He's just not really interesting right now. The only interesting thing he did in this entire game so far is be part of the crew to confront his brother, who then completely flipped the table on him. And then he goes and tells his wife and son, "Hey guys, we need to have a family chat." And they're like, "What are you talking about? This is kind of not like you." And he's like, "I'm gonna die tonight. Anyway, bye." Okay, dog. Okay, peace. Okay, yeah.
Rudolph only has one day until retirement. It's really sad.
It's yeah. He's definitely got that kind of middle sibling energy. But yeah, so that's it for them. Then we can talk about, you know what? Let's talk about one of the best characters in this game, voiced by one of my favorite characters in Higurashi, who I was so excited to hear. Oh my god, I love her voice so much. It's Ava, everybody. Ava is S tier because she is so goddamn entertaining. Every time, Automod, please let Aperture City call Ava #that bitch.
She is that
She
bitch.
is that bitch. She is so, oh my god. Her voice actress is so fucking good at being like, oh, like just that. Oh, she's so venomous. Oh, she's like, everything she says is like laced in sarcasm and like belittling everybody. And it's so, it's wild that she's married to Hideyoshi, who is just a for all intents and purposes, a wife guy. Like, I don't know any other way to explain him. He seems like a really, I think the word that we all used to describe him as soon as he came in, he was like, he's an affable guy. He's affable. Hideyoshi is like the cool uncle, or at least he's the guy who's desperately trying to give off cool uncle energy.
He literally is the cool uncle.
But that's the thing. I don't fucking buy it, man. I saw a little bit of it come out, because here's the thing. Here's my thing. Who would marry Ava?
I would.
Besides you and me.
Me.
Also me. Also me.
Also me.
Okay.
I'm putting my name on the list.
Oh my god, a lot of
We're
people
all
look
here to
mean
marry
women.
Ava. Should
Several people are typing.
We just ruined your point. I'm sorry, Bob.
Shit.
Your point.
No, it accentuated the point and made it a better point. Ava is awesome. I love Ava. Every time she's on screen, I'm like, my ears perk up. I sit forward. I'm like, I lean in. I #lean in. She is, oh my God. And Hideyoshi is just that level of like, it feels like, if I said it at one point, I don't know if this is going to bear out, but it really feels like good cop, bad cop. It really feels like Hideyoshi is completing a part of Ava's personality that is like they're kind of like, this is going to sound stupid. They're kind of like Bulldog, the ramen, where Ava is the spice that is just hurting your mouth, and Hideyoshi is like the deliciousness, everything else about it. And it's just all like combined. It's just like, oh, it's delicious. Oh. And when they both tag teamed Kraus, and then you saw Hideyoshi kind of getting pissed off because Kraus knows shit about Hideyoshi's business dealings and that his company might no longer be his because of a hostile takeover. And he starts to get like flustered. I'm like, ooh, what's going on here? Oh, this is interesting.
It's like Bulldog times 2.
Yeah, it's true. To be clear, I am saying stupid stuff on purpose. That's the excuse I'm running with in my head. Anyway, their son George is George. Enough said about him. So I guess Hideyoshi would be like, I think he's a B plus. I think he's not so interesting. There's something there. I'm really interested to get to what he's not interesting right now. I am confident he will become interesting. He is G tier for George. And then we have another S tier. It's Natsuhi, everybody. Kraus's wife, who has my full heart in all of these scenes. Oh my God, this lady. Oh no. Oh my God. She is, oh man. She is being manipulated. Has all this stuff. I think Ava actually like expressed it outright that like she is a borrowed womb for like the family. And it's just like, oh my God, guys, like fucking chill. Natsuhi is, I called her Brock at one point because she's always got her eyes closed because of a constant headache that she's got going. And the more I say that, the more it bears true. She is Brock. I really like her. She's S tier. She has my full sympathies. What a shitty situation to find yourself in, of this whole like family and all these various business dealings, and then you're just like over here forced to sit with the children even though you're like in charge of everything. It's like, it sucks. But yeah, she's had so many amazing scenes. That one scene she had with her child, whose name I just forgot, Jessica. Their relationship is strained because Jessica's grades aren't doing so hot, even though she's like in line to inherit the Urshiromiya like everything, the lineage that she's in line to inherit. The whole kit and caboodle. I'm blanking on the word for it, so I'm just coming up with like dumb ways to say it. But yeah, she's having some problems with school. She's having some issues. Natsuhi's trying to guide her, but she's being a little forceful, so that strained their relationship. Estate. Yeah, thank you, Grickhart.
Okay.
But like, Jessica is interesting in her own way. I'd probably put her in like A tier. But like their relationship is her, like Jessica having a little heart to heart with Natsuhi when Natsuhi's like coming, like she's just learned that her husband Kraus has lied to her, or at least not like overtly lie. Y'all tell me, did Kraus overtly lie to Natsuhi about the gold?
I think he's like conveniently left.
Yeah.
Unsaid.
Yeah, it's like more a case of omission.
Yeah, by omission.
That's what I got. I just wanted to make sure because, yeah, he sucks more if it was an overt lie.
Well, I guess specifically he overtly lied to his siblings and just didn't bother to clarify to his wife.
Yeah. So Natsuhi's coming out of the room where Kraus just showed her the bar of gold that proves that the gold is real. That the family, there's a whole thing. We haven't gotten into it yet. We're gonna get there, but like
the One Piece is real. Yeah,
real.
It turns out the One Piece is real. Dragon Balls are real, and they've got to find them all. So Natsuhi is like just reeling. There was one point when Ava just lays into her and she like is like Kraus isn't even defending her at all. And it's just like, oh my God. My heart just goes out to her in all those scenes. It's just awful. And then she, on top of that, when they're not talking about like business shit, she just seems like a nice person. She's stressed, but she seems like a perfectly kind, reasonable person, understanding, and if a little hard on her daughter. But in that moment when Jessica and her meet in the hallway, and she's just like, I am like, can you not right now? And Jessica's like, oh my bad. And they have this wonderful little moment of just like, oh, I think it was actually in text, where Jessica realized that like her mom is just a person, you know. And I think that that's one of the things that Silent Hill F really emphasized. And so I think that it's really, the whole reason I wanted to play all of the When They Cry games was because I wanted to have an informed opinion going into Silent Hill F. But I think it's really interesting that I played Silent Hill F, and so now I can infer things about that game and apply them to Umineko. And I think there's a lot going to happen with regard to humanizing the adults. There's this one thing that George, the fucker, I think that's, you know, we can give him the nickname the fucker. George was saying about like, oh, the adults they're just assume that they're trying their best, because there was one point when all the kids were like, these fucking adults are so shitty. And George is like, hey, come on now. They're arguing for good reasons. And it's like, George, shut the fuck up. But I can still see that being applied later on, just with more knowledge backing it up, with less about trust the process and more, your parents are human beings. They have flaws. They have a whole lifetime of bad habits that they've built. Let's kind of approach them with that understanding. You know, and I think that that's going to come into play. And already you're getting a little bit of that with Jessica and her mom. And there was that wonderful moment where the charm that Maria gave to Jessica and Battler, like Jessica pulled it out, the scorpion charm, and gave it to Natsuhi. Because apparently that charm's supposed to help with headaches. I think that's one of the things Maria said. Definitely ward off evil at night if you put it on your bedroom door. And I was like, aw, that's so nice. And then it was really funny because like when Natsuhi got it, she was like, oh, I can give you a charm too. And it was like, oh, this is like I'm inferring, this was like a thing that she did when she was a kid. When Natsuhi was a kid. And it's like you share charms. You get something and then you give them something. So I don't know. I might be off base with that. Regardless, it was very cute. It was very humanizing. It was a wonderful moment. Natsuhi's a cool person. I also really, that's another thing that we should mention for people who aren't watching the streams. We're playing with the Ryakishi art, like the original art. It is, I'm glad we're doing it. It is very good. These character portraits are so expressive, and looking at some of the, like, occasionally we'll get the CG scenes injected, and it's such a shock to see like, oh, this is anime. And then like you get the Ryakishi where it's like, it's not, I don't even think it's like, it's anime, but it's not like anime. It's like, it's so expressive. Not that anime isn't expressive, but it's like, it's got a tinge to it. It's got like its own flavor to it. What I mean by anime, it's like stereotypical. It's like the kind of thing that you would expect when you type anime into Google.
Yeah, the Ryokishi drawings have the soul of the creator in them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like the full intention, like like I know how this character in my head looks right now. I'm going to give them that kind of look right now. But yeah. Jan, I'm tempted to somehow have you turn off the CGs because I feel they misrepresent some of the characters kind of. I think it's fun just to get reminded of like, oh, this is how some other people are experiencing the game with this. So I'm not against it. I could turn them off too. It's not, it's fine. It's just, I really hope, because there are some CG moments in Higurashi that I am very glad I saw. So like, I don't know if there are any similar CG scenes in Umineko, but that's the only reason. That's the only thing that gives me pause.
Yeah, I know the what Jan's saying, but that might gives the wrong impression. But I think it's like pertinent. It's like it's effective for what it's trying to do, and like eventually you can figure out why it misrepresents some characters. I think it's worth keeping it on, personally.
Okay. And if anything, it's good to keep it on just because we can have that conversation. I think it's really interesting to have that conversation of like, this is the impression that I'm getting. It's like having a conversation about the differences between Higurashi anime and Higurashi VN. It's like there are massive differences, and I like hearing people's opinions on why one is better or one does something better than the other. But I just like to hear people talk, so it's another thing to talk about. Speaking of hearing people talk, I think that's it for. We could talk about Jessica a little bit. She is the heir apparent to the Urshiromiya.
Real quick.
Yes.
Sorry, real quick. I will say, Strike Against Natsuhi she was pretty hard on Shannon.
She is pretty hard. I think we got a little bit of her interiority. That's the other thing about this game is like we're actually seeing perspectives of other characters at certain points. Yeah. Like we're not with Battler the entire time. We are the good majority of the first 10 chapters, but sometimes we shift to, I believe we shifted to Shannon. We shifted to Bachan. I forget her name. The old lady. Kumasawa. Thank you. The old lady. Kumasawa. We shifted to Natsuhi. And when we shifted to Natsuhi, she did say a line where she was like, I know that I'm hard on Jessica, but I just want her to not have it hard. I just want
No, not Jessica. Shannon, the servant.
Oh, Shannon. Oh, my bad. I got Jessica and Shannon confused. Okay, what were you saying about Shannon?
I was saying that she remembers Shannon brings out the tea and it's late, and she doesn't even know what kind of tea it is, and that like Ava's kind of having fun with it, like in a very bullying way, but Natsuhi is just seething.
I think well, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, maybe they do have knives out for each other. For me, from my perspective, without knowing too much, I can kind of understand that from like the head of the household's like perspective of like, I mean, she is supposed to be the one in charge, so every single person here is like judging her for that, and so it's like, you know, Shannon comes out, doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and so Natsuhi's just like, oh my fucking god, these like, you know, so in that way, it's not, she shouldn't be doing that, but at the same time, I kind of get it, because here's the thing, for me, it's like, bro, my sister-in-law is gonna be here, and she is hashtag that bitch. You cannot like do this to me right now. She is going to kill me. She is going to poison the tea. That whole thing about Ava being like, oh, do you know why they use silver? So that you can see whether the tea is poison. Oh, it's like, bro, oh my god. And just, I love that the little bit of like, Natsuhi knows. Like, she knows what's gonna fucking happen. She knows. She's not stupid. She knows this lady. Anyways.
That's a fair point.
So, yeah, I guess we can talk about the furniture, aka the servants now. So we already talked a little bit about Shannon. The other character who was at the very beginning was, I believe his name is Gouda, or Gouda, like the cheese. Gouda. I'm going to call him Gouda because I think it's funny. Gouda, I'm not going to do that because it's not funny because no one laughed. Gouda, he's
I was laughing. I was just muted.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying. I was laughing on the inside. Go to.
I was saying boo earns.
God damn it. So, yeah, which one of these characters is Mr. Burns and which one of these is Smithers?
Do you need to ask that question?
No, that's why as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, I don't need to ask this. We already know. We already know what's up. So Gouda is basically Kinzo's like head servant, like the servant that he's had the most like time with.
Oh no, you're thinking of Genji.
Genji, my bad.
Goda is the chef.
Goda sucks. Goda is a piece of shit. Goda's the chef. Goda's like wannabe Gordon Ramsay. Well, let's rip into Goda real quick. Goda has a lot of little scenes. It's weird because he's like Goda. I understand. I understand wanting to put forward a really good impression. I understand wanting to like make sure everybody knows that like you're good at your job. You don't need to put your fellow coworkers down in order to prove that point.
Your teenage coworkers.
Exactly. Like the way that he treats Shannon and I don't know, armchair, a couch cushion, furniture.
Footstool.
Cannon. Shannon and Cannon.
I hate that I just realized their names are Shannon and Cannon.
Oh god.
Oh my god. No. Anyway.
And then there's Lennon and Manon, as was mentioned in the text. They're all like this.
Neither of those are canon.
How long were you waiting to say
is a
that
different
joke?
guy.
How long were you waiting to say
But
that?
who's on first?
Honestly, I pulled
I'm
that.
telling you who's on first. I hate, oh my god. Fingers right over the band buttons. Shum. So yeah, Genji? Genji, not Goda. Genji was, the very beginning, oldest butler, maybe. Yeah, so personal relationship with, Kinzo. They, definitely share a lot, like, he's basically the, alcohol provider, or what is it? It's like, ether, or no, what is it? Absinthe. Thank you. Yeah, the absinthe man, the provider of absinthe to Kinzo. Much to Nanjo's chagrin. Yeah, they seem. I don't know. I need more. I need more from them. I need just like with Kinzo. I just need to know more. Like right now, they're pretty one note. And Kinzo's note is just screaming Beatrice all the fucking time. It's so funny. Like at the end of almost every single time, it's the end of like a segment with Kinzo, and he's just screaming and coughing and vomiting and puking and shitting his pants, and while screaming Beatrice, while Genji is just staring at him. Just, well, I guess this is happening again.
Looking at his watch, wondering if it's going to happen today.
I wonder what time and for how long. I will say Genji, if we're ranking, I think he's like A+, because he's really kind to the other servants. I noticed that he's not like a dick. He will remind people of like what they're doing, but he won't do it in like a shitty way. Like he won't do it in like a Goda way. He won't like needle people, or he won't like rub it in or like take advantage of the situation. There were a couple times when he was like, I think it was him and Cannon and Shannon, and he was like politely like nudging them to like, hey, remember, you need to go and do this. And then they both realized what they needed to do, and then they ran off and did their thing. What I'm trying to say is he has a layer of like of kindness to him. And I really appreciate that. I think that that's also potentially something that Kinzo is maybe taking advantage of. I don't know. I need to get more from them. But I like him. I like him. He's cool. Cannon, oh my god. Just if he would be easily A tier if he would just shut the fuck up about the I am furniture shit. Like,
I think he'd object to being included in this character sorting because furniture doesn't get ranked.
God damn it.
Do we have a furniture tier?
No, it's F tier for furniture tier.
Oh yes. F, the only person at F, and straight up. No, he can take. It doesn't feel right to put him in the tier with Rosa. I don't know. That doesn't feel right. Although I think Rosa's more D, just because I think, I don't know. Yeah, Cannon. Fuck. Here's the thing though.
I don't care about canon.
I don't care about canon. I do care about canon, but I don't care about canon. If there's a canon on this island, we're all doomed. Anyway, so one of the things that I really like about Ryukishi's writing, and just good writing in general, is how, like I talked about this during my Danganronpa playthrough. I really like how these characters are like, they're like elements on the periodic table of elements, and they will react and change their nature, and like when they are introduced into to other characters. Like, I don't like when Canon and Goda are like interacting. I don't like Canon when he's interacting with Kinzo. I do like Canon when he's interacting with Shannon. And I this goes with a bunch of different characters. Like Maria's like, yeah, on the periodic table of elements, she's just like like oxygen, I guess, just like breathing life into every single character, except Maria.
I believe the abbreviation on the table is UU.
I almost choked. I almost choked on my drink. You almost fucking killed me. That was God damn it.
And I'll get you yet.
You will fucking kill me. Oh God, that's the real murder you're gonna have to solve. You're gonna watch me die on stream, and then you're gonna have to debate it amongst yourselves while the police.
There were going to be murders.
Oh, our boy Rudolph just said, "Hey, I'm gonna fucking die." By the way, like what?
Could be hyperbole.
Yeah, and he went to save Sanchez.
Okay. Okay. Y'all had me watch, and then there were none. Like, let's drop the pretense here, y'all. They're already talking. The thing right behind me, right here, this plaque right here. Hold on, I gotta get it right.
What, your green screen?
That's not a green screen. I'm actually in Rokkenjima.
Yeah,
that plaque right there, that epitaph. That has a thing about murders on it. People gotta die in order to get the gold. Come on now. Let's not fuck around.
Well, if we're dropping that pretense, then I think the question to ask is, which of these characters are capable of murder and which ones are not?
Ava, Kraus.
Who's going to bite it?
For a second, I thought you meant the gold to like check if it's real.
Who's going to bite the gold?
Yeah, why do you think those two?
Would the gold be soft, or would it be like hard, like an eye?
You know what's fucked up? You know what's fucked up? George. I think George could do it. I think George could do it. George could do it. Honestly, here's the thing. I hope Natsuki does it. I support women's wrongs, and specifically her wrongs. She is allowed at least 2 murders, as long as they aren't Maria or Maria.
By the way, you just gave me this really vivid image with the biting of the gold of Kraus reveals the gold bar, Nazi, and there's just teeth marks all over it.
I'm just imagining the siblings going up to.
Might be
gnawing on
I
it.
don't know.
Just the siblings go up to Kraus and it's like, brother, where did you hide the gold? And a very gold-shaped throated Kraus shows up being like, I don't know what you could mean.
Like, oh, I don't know what you mean. We did miss one character, the last character to be sorted, and then we can go through plot summaries and all that good stuff. Kumasawa, I would put in A+ tier. I think she's cool.
Really?
I think she can kill somebody. I think she has the capability to be a murderer. I think that she, of all of the people, really has a good idea. Probably the diametrically opposed to Kinzo, where but they both know kind of what's going on, but Kinzo doesn't really, I don't know. I don't think Kinzo's factoring in some elements of people's personalities. And I think that Kinzo's doing it purely to see his beloved Beatrice again, obviously, so that when she shows up, he can scream into her face, Beatrice! But I think Kumasawa really kind of, especially with how she's able to lighten the mood and get everybody, like, she knows how to make, she can play a crowd, and specifically this crowd. I think that she. I think that I don't want to say that she's like conniving or anything. I just think that she knows. I think she knows a lot. I think she knows more than she's letting on. I think that moment. That was another really strange thing. We can talk about this real quick. Oh, yeah, exactly. I think that we could talk about this real quick. There was that moment where she switched to like third person and started talking like she was a character in a theater play. Like that was really weird. Like I don't know what the hell was going on there. I think that happened another time with another character, but like yeah, Greek choir or the Geek Choir from Spider-Man Shut Off the Dark.
Turn off the dark.
Turn off the dark.
I'm right here.
God damn. Oh my god. Every time I hear about the Greek
Everyone will
Choir,
have to marry a spider to death.
oh, if only. Of all the characters, who would marry a spider? The answer is obviously Battler. Just as long as the spider had huge tits. Anyway.
Shannon would if the spider made her.
Oh god. This poor child. Anyway, so yeah, Kumasawa, I like her. And it's not even one of those things of like I think she is a good character. I think she is entertaining. I think she has a lot of potential to be really interesting to the plot of this visual novel. Much like Kinzo and Kraus, and yeah, I think it's really Kinzo and Kraus. Maybe a little bit of. Honestly, I'm kind of waiting for Kyrie to like. I think Kyrie's got something to reveal. I really like. She's hiding something. She's too fucking smart, man. She knows when to like let people like sort of talk. It was really frustrating to have her be told to shut up during that first conversation. And then Hideyoshi's over here talking up a storm. That's fucking ugh. Bob, do you think there's a 19th person? Okay, Aperture City. We should, Jan. I think we should talk about that in a little bit. I'm very interested in having that conversation because it reminds me of another conversation that we had in a previous book club. So, anyways.
Yeah, well, you didn't talk about all the characters, Bob.
Oh my god.
There's
Yeah,
one
you
right
forgot
behind you.
Franklin, the turtle. Appears on the island.
Oh yeah, the rose. Yes, the rose. Oh yeah, and the seagulls. We got to talk about the gull 1, gull 2. Oh yeah, and we didn't talk about the boat captain who souped up his fucking boat to go like way too fucking fast. Like what? And then Balor's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna vomit." And it's like, oh yeah, yeah, that was the other thing that endeared Rosa to me, because Rosa was the only person who was like, "Hey, Battler's like gonna puke. Maybe we should go slower." Everyone was like too busy mocking the shit out of him, including his father. It's like, fuck off. Anyway,
Okay,
and
being his dad, I would obviously mock my son. I'm just gonna.
I mean,
it's only natural.
It's only natural. It comes with the territory. It's part of your DNA. Gotta mock the kid. Mock the child. Mock the child. All right.
Battler's 18.
What?
Battler, no, it's just like giving the, like, okay, I guess like.
It sounded like you were. It sounded like
no.
you had a different thought process and you were trying to convince yourself of something.
No, I guess I'm just saying
18.
it's just like no, but give Battler a hard time a little bit. It's fine, I think.
It builds character.
It builds character. It's true. I don't know if y'all like the main reason why I'm playing this game right now. The main question I want answered is like I want Battler to kind of open up to the rest of the family about like what is going on, like where he was for 6 years, how he was doing, how he's dealing with. I want to know more about his mom. Like I want to know about that relationship, why he left. Like he keeps calling his dad like, what does he call him? Douchebag or something? Or like bastard?
Old bastard.
Old bastard.
Old bastard.
You old bastard. Alrighty.
I think in the voice acting, Japanese voice acting, he calls him like Kusoyaji, as in like shit dad, as a portmanteau.
Oh, shit, dad. I like it. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a good dad. He also seems like, yeah, that's another thing of like the Kyrie and Rudolph being way too open about their sexual like life to Battler. And Battler's just like, okay. But here's the weird thing. It's like, I can kind of understand that because I don't think Battler really sees them as his parents. Like, I don't think, well, definitely not his father, which is funny because biologically speaking, but like, I just don't think he's attached. You know what I mean? Like, how could he be if he's been away for 6 years?
He definitely doesn't see Kyrie as his mom. I get it. Like Kyrie, sorry. I don't. Yeah, he doesn't see her as his mom. He sees her as, his dad's assistant, who he married right after, his mom died.
Yeah, and I think
note on those two, if I'm not mistaken, they're both Asumu and Kirie are both named after Ragnarok online spells, I think.
Yes. You just made me realize
Rudolph has a type, and
that
it's
Ryukishi's
MMO.
name is Dragoon.
Oh yeah, and Rena
Final
from
Fantasy.
Higurashi was named after Dragon Knight Leno.
It all comes around.
It all comes around. Was someone else speaking? I'm sorry. I think we were talking over you.
Oh, I was just agreeing with what everyone else is saying about the references to Final Fantasy and Ragnarok. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. Gail, you never apologize for talking. If you're talking, I'm going to shut up immediately. You can test it out right now. While I'm talking, you can try and talk, and then I will immediately... Okay, you're not talking. Anyway. So let's go ahead and jump into summaries. Jan, you want to take it away?
Sure.
Unless real quick, sorry. Unless anyone wants to talk about, like, Mel, do you want to give your character like lists? Like, I'm seeing people posting in the chat images of like tier lists. Mel, it looks like you've got.
I was just trying to write yours.
Kinzo in S tier. Interesting.
I think he's fun. That's basically it.
Yeah. No. All I care about. Okay, Mel. Okay, your list is correct. Jan, your list is correct.
I'm making yours.
Rusty's is correct. Yeah. Okay, you're making mine. Okay, I was just checking to see if Maria was in everyone's S tier because that's the only factor that actually matters.
He's like, wow, this is so perfect. This is exactly what I feel.
Broken B, who do I think will be the first victim? I mean, if we're going by the what a wonderful question to ask when this music is playing, by the way. But if we're talking about that, honestly, no. Oh no, something jumped. No. Oh no. Please, I'm begging you. I will stop reading this right now if it's Maria. I'm literally like, if they kill off Maria, I said it the other day, if they kill off Maria, it's like when they killed off my favorite characters in what is it called? Game of Thrones. And I immediately stopped watching. Like, no, you can't do that. It's like when they killed off the best character in Walking Dead. I was like, why should I even continue watching? This is stupid. But like, no, Ryukishi, no, don't do it. You're not allowed. Maria's off limits. But I mean, if we're going by the text, Rudolph probably, because Rudolph said, "Hey, I'm gonna fucking die." But why would Rudolph say that? I would imagine that he would say that because one of the children of Kinzo is going to be God, which would make sense because I think that those kids only view themselves as the threat. But I think Kraus understands that, like, everybody has a chance at the gold. And if everybody has a chance at the gold, he might start picking off some of the servants. I can see someone going after... Honestly, I could see someone going after Genji. Maybe even trying to get some info out of him before he gets God. I don't see Kyrie. Y'all you all got me fucked up because you're reminding me of what happened during Danganronpa, where I literally was like, okay, these two characters are safe. There's no way there's anything going to happen to them. They're too interesting to have them leave. And they're the two characters who died immediately.
Yeah, that's true. Bob, what are your two favorites? They're going to immediately die.
My two favorites are Maria and either Ava or Natsuhi. If it's Natsuhi, oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Ava is just waste. Like, why kill her? If Ava dies, it's a fake death. It's not real. That's how I feel about Ava. Anyway, let's stop talking about this. I was so rude. I asked, thank you for posting a picture of Bulldog in the fucking chat. I can't.
I actually do have to get going. This was really fun. Yeah, awesome.
Great to have you.
Sorry.
You have a great night. All right.
You too, man.
Yeah, you too.
Night, y'all.
Night, shm. Okay. Yawn, please. I interrupted you so much. It's the opposite. When Gail talks, I have to immediately stop. When you talk, I immediately have to cut you off because I've done it 3 or 4 times already. Yawn.
That's so mean.
I am
That's so mean.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm a girl. Thanks, bro.
No problem, dog. Anyway,
I am the heavily put upon secretary here.
I apologize, and I want to thank you again for helping out with everything, organizing everything, whipping my ass into shape, telling me multiple times, Bob, don't stream every second of the game. You will go crazy.
Yeah, Jan truly is the Shannon to Bob's Bobbler.
Bobbler? I don't know about that. I don't agree with that joke, so I won't laugh.
We have been calling you Bobbler behind your back.
Bobbler? Oh, because, oh my God. Look.
Oh, it's like Bob and Butler. I get it now.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've tried to say, so many times I have tried to say, oh, Bob said this, but I almost said Battler said this. I have had to stop myself so many times, man.
A Cuter Faction did wonderful art of me as Battler and Bobbler. So, and by the way, Cuter Faction, thank you, and please follow Cuter Faction and Jan on Blue Sky, where Jan posts amazing art, and you just posted amazing art today. Oh, yep.
I love amazing art.
Amazing art is good. But what was that, iCat? Are you gonna I don't know if it's good.
Anyway, I wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure that Mel got to say their piece.
Yes, please. Apologies, Mel.
Hello. Is about the characters still?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Natsu's cool. I really like the scene with her and Jessica. George does a good job seeming likable in the scenes where they're just hanging out. But obviously, outside of that, he's got some issues, which I'm sure the rest of the story will probably unpack. Kumasawa is great. Delightful.
Delightful.
And I'm kind of curious to see what Cannon's deal is, because he's like... He's got some stuff going on with classism, and how much he internalizes that versus not, which remains to be seen. But yeah, I'll leave it at that for now, because we have much to get through, I assume, so.
Yeah,
all right.
I was selfish and took up all of the time. I apologize. Yeah.
On your own stream.
On my own stream. It's how I really fucked it up. Please, Jan, continue.
All right. So, the basic outline I've got here is just for the first 10 chapters, from prologue up to the end of the first day. So we start off, obviously, with Genji, Nanjo, and Kinzo in the study. Then we cut ahead to Battler showing up at the airport, meet some of the family, get on the boat, meet some more of the family on the island. Then they kind of split off, parents and kids, into different spaces, learn about the epitaph, we learn about some money trouble,
Mhm.
We learn about Beatrice. Some bad stuff happens in the garden. And then Maria's got a letter. And we go, could there be 19 people on this island? And then George goes ahead and proposes to Shannon. And we see some people doing some stuff. Don't get any text. Night ends.
Wow. Yep, that's what happened.
I've upped my game in the past 3 years.
I am blown away. That is wow.
Now, if I may prompt you,
Yes.
especially the newbies, where do you think this is going?
Mel, you take that. I've been talking everyone's ear off. They're already sick of me. Go for it.
I think they're going to come to a diplomatic resolution, and then the rest of the 8 chapters is just going to be everyone getting along nice, and nothing bad is going to happen. And definitely no murders are going to happen.
That would be awesome. If like the fans of something at the end of the game, like Rikishi says, "Hey, everybody pretend like this is a murder mystery." And just sell other people on it and get them to read. And really, it's just a lovely time of people like talking to each other and figuring out how to be better people.
Well, what's the point of doing the book club now?
We figured it out. We did it.
Yeah, damn it, you got it right away.
Shit.
Kishi did say that this was a game that he designed with a 0% solve rate. So if you are predicting it correctly this time, you will be the first person to correctly predict it.
What?
Oh, damn. That's a Guinness World Record right there.
I'm going to get the Guinness World Record for predicting Umineko. Okay. Well, a 0% solve rate makes me think that, like, it could go one of two ways. One, there is no mystery. Everything's just as it is on its face. But knowing things about Higurashi and kind of having that inform my opinion, I really didn't think Higurashi was going to go the way that it went. And I was surprised when it did. So that makes me think that this will do something similar. Okay, so I'll just say it. I'll just go ahead. Well, hold on. No, Bob, I keep talking. Rusty, what do you think? Because Rusty, you caught up to where we are, or is that Madison? I forget.
I am caught up to where we are.
Yeah, what do you think's going on?
The extent to which I am spoiled makes me feel like...
Does the nature of the spoiler that you know kind of inform a lot
of...
Damn it. All right. If you didn't know the spoiler, where would... No. All right.
If I didn't know the spoiler, it would be back in, I want to say, 2015, so I'd assume that this is like a harem anime or something.
Okay. Theory. No. Stop. Apple, shut up. I didn't say Siri. I said theory. God, annoying. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm just going to throw it out there for posterity. I think Kinzo drugged everybody. I think he gave everybody absinthe.
Why would he do that?
It is the green fairy, as they call it.
I think that everybody's going to be fucked up by absinthe, fucked up by drugs, and that's going to make them have a shared hallucination of Beatrice. I'm just throwing it out there. I had this idea and I held it back like a little while ago, but like when we first started playing and they really emphasized like the fucking the green liquid and like all that, and then we were like, oh yeah, that's absinthe. I was like, maybe it could go that way. But I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's not. I don't know. It seems like something that would be interesting to do, but it's also one of those things where I just don't have enough information about like, I think that definitely bringing like involving drugs will definitely make people like sort of more paranoid, and that might cause them to kill each other. Also, I think that Kinzo is just fucking gone, man. Like, dude's been huffing. He's been hotboxing absinthe for like years at this point. Like, his brain is mush. Like, who knows why he's doing what he's doing? I think that also like He's like, huffing, drinking absinthe out of like lead cups. So he's just fucking, he's fucked up.
He's got that one Garfield mug.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. The one that I literally had when I was growing up. My favorite cup. But apparently I'm fucked up now.
I just like the idea that he's like hotboxing swamp gas.
Yes. 1000%. I'm going to be abducted by a UFO. I'm going to pull a Silent Hill 1.
Beatrice, finally you've returned to me, and it's just a pigeon.
Oh, that's Tesla, though. Anyway,
Actually, it's a seagull.
Yeah, if you reread a certain line in chapter 1 10 million times, you get the UFO ending.
Hell yeah. It's better than going to each part of the island and finding that stupid gem. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. If we're asking the question of like, is Beatrice real? I want to say that like, I won't say that because I don't want to. I just won't. I won't say why I won't say it. I think Beatrice is going to be not real. I think Beatrice is going to be a shared hallucination. I think that Kinzo is deliberately planting like this, like doing this. Like, come on. He's doing that specifically to get everybody to like have the same sort of idea of who this person is. And then he's probably going to fuck him up somehow. Maybe even pick him off all like by himself. Or at least do some of the murders himself. We haven't even gotten to the murders. It's also weird to like, the kids have to be off limits, right?
Why?
Because they're kids.
Well, if there's one thing Ryushi is known for as an author, it's not killing kids, right?
Stop.
And also,
Stop
killing
it.
kids is illegal.
Killing kids is literally illegal. You can't do it, even in
Yeah.
media.
You know, regular murder is also pretty illegal.
No, but kid murders is especially against the law.
It goes against the Japanese concept of ikuru, which means
that is
to
true.
live.
Which means to live, yeah.
Oh, I heard that
Pay
when
to kill
people
children because they're your property.
I heard that when people are killed, they die.
Nice
Is that true?
I don't know. I have to ask.
Well,
Shiro.
that's the way it's supposed to be.
Most of the time.
Rambro, thank you so much for the 41 months. Oh my god, that's so much time. Thank you so much. All right. So yeah, I'm trying to think of where else to go. And thank you for Read YDSP. Thank you for posting the Garfield cup, the Garfield mug, the forbidden mug. Oh, that's from the fucking Garfield server. Hell yeah, that's funny. All right. Okay, so Maria won't die. I think we've all that's confirmed. Maria is safe. Because she is a precious child.
Ooh, plot armor. Ooh.
Ooh. I don't know what ooh means.
Who are people who you think, or any newbie thinks, are like super duper dead? Like you think they're like dead?
Well, I already said who I think, but yeah, if Mel or Rusty wanted to. Oh wait, Rusty. Well, Rusty, do you know if
I do not know about murders, actually.
I do not know about murder. Well, murder is when someone kills another person.
Well, I do not know about death that may or may not be caused by other people.
Death is when you die.
Oh.
Death is when
Murder
you
is
stop
also,
being.
Good
Good to know. George.
Yeah. No, I hope George dies. Let me be clear. I fingers crossed George gets got. George or Rosa. Like let's fucking go.
What did
I don't even think that he's gonna die
You know
because
what
I
Rosa
hate him.
did.
I just think that he's stupid enough to have it be like, oh, poor guy. I guess he's dead now. Gonna put that out of our mind.
Yeah, I wonder if someone's gonna pose as like, or someone. That's the other aspect of this that I'm really interested in is like, how do you think George's parents will feel about him getting married to Shannon? I can't imagine that they would be like on board, especially Ava.
No.
So I don't know. I don't think they would kill their own kid in order to do that, but I do think that. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. Some of these characters just seem so nice, but you know, some people in Higurashi seem nice. Appearances can be deceiving.
That's Natsuhi getting tired of the stress headaches and just killing Jessica on the first night.
Honestly, I could see Natsuhi just dying of natural causes. Like the fucking, she just gets her head splits open literally because of her headaches. Just like getting got because
And an alien jumps out.
Yeah, like and then they have to do the blood test.
Trespasser, poor girl.
Yeah,
All
the alien also screams.
I want the scene from John Carpenter's The Thing where they're testing the blood and it's like Battler like putting the little thing in and like testing everyone, all of the characters from this game, testing their blood. Anyways, and Nazi's head splitting open, revealing that she's the thing. But yeah, George, I hope he dies. Rosa, fingers crossed. Honestly, if I'm being real, I have a really bad feeling about Maria. Like, I don't want to say it, but the fact that she was also, can we talk about this? Maria channeling Beatrice. What was that? What was that? She became a completely different fucking person. What happened?
Maria loves witches. It was witch time.
It was witch time. The witching hour.
It's just normal kid things, Bob.
What? See, that's the thing about this story is like it keeps doing little things of like these like sort of like meta narrative things of like that. I can't stop thinking about that Kumasawa moment where she was like literally talking like she was in an opera or something. Like she should have been singing what she was saying. Like
Ryukishi really likes theater.
Yep. Don't forget that Higurashi started as a stage play, at least a stage play script. So.
Really? Because that moment made me think like, well, what if he goes another way with it? What if like this is a play and we're watching a play? And like these characters, like they're dying, but they're really just characters, like that the actors are playing. Because he did that. He did that with. He didn't literally do this. This isn't a spoiler. Don't infer anything to this. But with Higurashi, like they had the character moments. So like when after the chapters end, like they had people sort of talking about like, oh yeah, that was fun. Like, you know, hey Keiichi, you know, that was kind of goofy what you did. Oh yeah, I'm a pretty goofy guy. Haha. You know.
Oh yeah, the cast review.
Yeah. Which was cute.
That's like a take on. A lot of visual novels like Tsukihime and Fate Stay Night have like a bad end hint corner. So like when you get a bad ending, you can see an optional bonus scene, usually with that same sort of goofy fourth wall tone, which is like, hey, try this next time and get around it. And Higurashi has those even though it's a linear novel. And that's sort of why it's like that.
You know, funnily enough, I think you had a similar thought back in the beginning of Higurashi.
Yeah. I keep having that thought. And also someone like I vividly remember this. Someone clipped it. And I was like, why did they fucking clip that? That's interesting. Maybe something happens like later, but I don't know. I have no idea why you motherfuckers clip shit. I don't know why any of you fuckers do what you do. So
tangential to that, but I think is like a bit musing that it's not a one-to-one, but Battler's backstory here is not dissimilar from the protagonist of Tsukihime's backstory in terms of just like, oh, I was away from my rich family for a while, now I've come back and the plot's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice of the plot to stop happening and wait for him to come back.
It's only polite.
If there's one thing you can say about Umineko, it's very polite. Everyone's very polite.
Mm-hmm.
It's high society.
And there might even be polite icks.
Oh, I get a polite ick from this person. Do you think everyone in Umineko in the is there an American version of Umineko
Knives Out?
Yes, Knives Out. Thank you.
Knives Out is shockingly Umineko. It's not.
Oh, that makes me very excited. I really like Knives Out. I really like Knives Out.
Yeah. Family Guy is a kind of lot like Umineko, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of that one time.
Umineko knives from this.
I'm getting strong Umineko knives.
Hey, Lewis, this is just like that one time right now more than anything else. We needed a lot of money back then.
All right. We should also probably talk about the riddle, aka the epitaph.
I did have some introductory words I wanted to give on that.
Sure.
Which is just that you've played Silent Hill F and Higurashi. When I saw Silent Hill F, the scarecrow puzzle, like the clues are written in the exact same cadence as like the poems that open each arc of Higurashi. And that made me sort of go, oh, did Ryukishi write the puzzles for Silent Hill F himself? And the other clue is that instead of the series standard for, Silent Hill, easy, normal, hard, it's normal, hard, and lost in the fog. Because Ryukishi is really mean when it comes to puzzles. And in addition to that, the characters in the story call the epitaph pretty ridiculous and unreasonable. So, good luck.
Yeah. It definitely helps. Go ahead.
Or you might be the first person to solve it on the first try.
I was going to say, like, Bob, surely you solved it already, right?
I mean, yeah. That's okay. Seriously, Maria found it. Maria found the gold. The rose was moved because while she was looking for the gold, she found it, and then the witch came and gave her the note. But that was just Kinzo in a dress. I love that moment where it was who was it? Kyrie was like, oh well, it must have been one of the women because they were wearing a dress in order to look like Beatrice the witch. I was like, my friend, I think Kinzo could pull it off.
Yeah, I was going to ask both you, Bob, and Newbies, what do you think about that whole letter situation? What's going on there?
I defer to Mel or Rusty. Well, more Mel, since Rusty is a rake putter downer.
I think it's spoopy, and perhaps remains to be seen what implications it has, because Beatrice, who may or may not exist, has yet to appear, assuming she does, ever. Because she definitely doesn't have a sprite that we know of.
Yeah, I see it on the Steam page, and it's like, I don't know though.
Acid Shark just rated.
What's up, Acid Shark? We're talking Umineko. How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well. Acid Shark, I hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to you in a bit. Hope you're playing. I saw you were playing Chronos. I hear that's a good game. And you just reminded me. I need to get to, and by you I mean me talking about you. I need to play Resident Evil 9. I bought that game. I've had access to it for like a week now, and like I haven't fucked around with it. I need to get Rachel to play it with me. I want to bring her back on streams because I love hearing her scream. I don't know if y'all remember when she fucking screamed at the top of her lungs for that one game we were playing. Oh my god, she like screamed like so hard she like triggered herself and got really quiet the rest of the night. Anyway, oh my god, she's so cute. Finished Chronos a couple weeks back.
Despite emphasizing how difficult it is, I am curious if anyone like has any initial impressions of the riddle. Like, where do you think you would start with?
Wait. Before we talk about that, Jan, what the fuck? What are you doing?
I was also fucked up in this.
What are you doing?
Mean?
What do you do? What is this avatar? What is this?
Do you remember how I changed it?
Yes, I do.
Every stream we did, and then I had to hold on to Bus Stop Rika for 3 fucking years, my guy.
Yes.
So I actually forgot that I was going to change it again because it's been 3 years. You had me waiting for 3 years, my man.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Life happened.
Promised to do this.
Like some abstract.
But yeah,
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I finally get to change my icon to something.
That's got to be Beatrice. Beatrice.
I thought that was super spooky considering we were talking about the letter.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing about this. I'm realizing that like Kinzo threw the umbrella and the ring out of the window. So whoever got those, like, used them to write a letter pretending to be Beatrice and then use the ring, and also she had the umbrella. So like I could easily see Maria seeing the umbrella and the ring dropping from the heavens and being like, oh, the witch Beatrice has bestowed upon me these items. And being like,
I'm gonna need you to play Stupefaction.
What is that?
The last track.
Oh.
Continue.
The track for theorizing, so.
The theorizing. Yes, apologies. So yeah, Maria looking up as the umbrella smacks her head and the ring plops into her forehead. And she's like, oh, Beatrice, thank you so much. Here's the other aspect of this. What if... I almost don't want to say it, but I'm gonna. What if Maria is Beatrice?
Ooh.
Because thinking about it,
theory.
thinking about it now, she is really the only person I can think of who would do that. Not to mention her entire personality changed when she was reading the letter. What was that? I don't understand.
Girls being girls.
Yeah. You know, kids do weird things.
Think that Maria is consciously Beatrice, or like she's magically transforming or something.
Magical transforming girl? I think Maria is Sailor Moon. Sailor Beatrice. Sailor Mars, probably. Yeah, that works. It's funny coming in here. Yeah. I see Kyrie is also like, it's funny coming in here without any context. Oh, Kyrie, are you Carpa Obscura on Twitch? Is that So yeah. God. It's so funny because nothing has really happened and I'm already like my mind's going a mile a minute. But like, why would I'm turning into Mario.
It's broken him already.
Yeah.
I mean, can I put a little bit info?
No spoilers, obviously, but
No. I don't have any. I'm brand new.
Wait, you're brand new? I forgot.
Yeah, sorry.
What do you think? What is going on? What, you're letting me talk like a goober? What's going on?
I honestly, I'm having a similar series to what you're having because there's not much. There's a lot of introduction to this story. You have these pieces here, and obviously with Ryakushi, seeing how he's done other works, it's never really that clear up front. It's a lot of thought-provoking. It kind of makes you start thinking, well, what is this possibility, or what does this person have? Like, what are their motives? It honestly, it kind of makes for a lot of good theory crafting, and I'm honestly excited to see going forward what comes of that, because Maria definitely has a lot going on there. There's a lot of like cuteness there, but there's almost like an undertone maybe. I don't know, but it's definitely something I do want to see for sure going forward.
Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts on it.
Anyone else?
I was just going to agree with Chronic Wolf. It's like, I get why you split up the parts, because this is a pretty bulky, especially in terms of information, first chapter, but it's like, by the end of the chapter, I think that's where real theory crafting is going to start to begin.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing, though. I like theory crafting is going to be, like, it is what it is. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be too particular about it, but I think that the intro, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this is a really good place to have a book club because there's just a lot of info to like bite into at the very beginning. And I think having that and getting that out of the way before shit pops off, which I'm assuming it's going to, like characters are probably going to drop dead. I think that that's a good idea. I definitely like seeing the characters in this context and getting to know them now versus when, you know, potentially shit starts happening. But
sorry, continue.
No, I'm done.
So for what it's worth, I do have the immediate next chapter lined up as a highlight stream. For Bob to do, of course.
That's the other aspect of this. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing the book club, and then immediately after, we're going to jump into the stream where apparently shit is going to pop off, which you can infer based on the end of the last chapter, which is basically the most ominous shit ever. Like a bunch of characters, like little character moments of just people like yelling at each other, doing their own thing.
And it does really feel to me like it's an intentional separation point, even just as an individual reader, to take a second to stop and parse and process all of the information you got, the way that first night ends.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that it kind of lets everything settle down and go quiet and just kind of cut from every person to every person in every scene. Just kind of showing you, here's all the people you've met, here's all the places they're in. Just kind of letting you take a second.
Yeah, that reminds me of like one little thought I had. It is a very rich story, and I did want to note that every time I clicked to go forward in the story, I was like, "Ooh, yummy!" Take another bite. Ooh, yummy! So
yummy.
It is good to have time to digest all this cool stuff and have it get into your mind as like background information. Get to remember all of the dads' names because I'm still confusing Rudolph with Kraus.
Oh. Kraus is the one that goes oh, and then Rudolph is the one that doesn't have a thing. Rudolph is the most bland motherfucker, is what I'm saying. Genji Ikari ass. Sorry, I talked over someone.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just gonna say, for context, I started this on Sunday, and then I just kept reading it because it was like one to catch up, but also it's like very easy to just be engrossed in it.
It's kind of a problem. Same thing happened with Higurashi, where it was just like, in a lot of ways, I'm really glad that we're doing book club, but selfishly, sometimes I'm just like, I really want to. I just want to keep going. I just want to know like where these things go. I kind of want to just keep pushing forward. But yeah, it was very hard to put down after this. I did want to say, if y'all wanted an invite to the Discord, !Discord in the chat, you get an invite to the Discord. We are going to be streaming the next highlight stream on Twitch, but after that, we're going to do like more chill streams on the Discord. Just keep an eye out. I'm going to tag the cicada heads who I am going to have to change their name to gull heads. And then I'm going to be streaming more in the chat on Discord there. So keep posted for that. I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about before we call it.
Well, just
I did have. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go right ahead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I did have some comments on the fashion.
Oh yes.
Because I saw Bob sort of noting the fashion, but not quite knowing what it was. It's a style called Elegant Gothic Lolita, and it's technically named after the book, but it doesn't really have much relation beyond that. It sort of emerged in the 80s as an extension of like kawaii culture, like really ultra cuteness. And it's sort of a rejection. It's a rejection of maturity and like sort of more classic and sweet Lolita focuses on a lot of frills and pinks and, pastel colors, while Gothic Lolita is darker colors and I guess has more overt influence from like Western fashion. I think all of it does to an extent, but like if you're doing like a murder mystery set in Japan, and you're sort of a maximalist writer like Ryukishi is, Gothic Lolita is actually a pretty good fit in terms of tone. And I do remember also you sort of commented on Jessica outfit sort of having the skirt peeking out in a way that was sort of like a bit sort of cute and childish, and that's sort of like one of the most. Yeah, I mean, like Lolita fashion is quite exaggerated, which is why you've got like all these characters with cut out parts of their outfit. Like if you look at Kyrie, she actually has like some cutouts on the side of her shirt. But yeah, like, actually, I think it's kind of interesting because I would almost describe Jessica's fashion sense as more sort of Garyu-ish, which is again a sort of Western influenced, cute sort of style, but it's more like poppy sort of popular kids, that sort of thing. So you can view that as sort of her rebelling a little bit against like the family style. The fact that she's set to succeed the headship, but maybe doesn't seem too enthusiastic about it. I think you can sort of read that into her fashion a little bit, but for the most part, I think most characters were just Ryukishi looking through like a fashion catalog and picking some designs to use. So they don't always say hugely about the character. It's more like they have a unified style which reflects on the genre they're aiming for, most of all.
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of Celestes from Danganronpa. For people, for people in the know.
She's another really good example of the stuff.
Go ahead.
Could I add a little bit to the Lolita discussion? Just a smidge.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting as well, just because, as you mentioned, there's like this aspect of rejecting maturity to it. And of course, like this has a lot of really interesting sort of feminist thought in terms of the background of it, because there's alongside rejecting maturity, it's very much in the sense of rejecting the idea of traditional adulthood that Japanese society is expecting, particularly of young women. And in kind of invoking that in a lot of like these women's outfits, in whether it's like more conservative like Natsuki or more obvious in someone like Jessica, it's really interesting to kind of see that depicted in a variety of ways, I would say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like
it definitely seems to be a theme.
Yeah, Lolita fashion sort of focuses on dresses and frills and bows in a sort of intentionally childish way of like, I'm gonna be cute forever, screw you. Yeah, no, you probably put it better than I did in terms of analysis.
It's just very neat. I've read a lot about Lolita fashion. I think it's a really, really fascinating thing, and there's a ton of really great subtext that we can read into with it. Ryukishi may or may not have intended it in full, but the idea of it's still very much there in the text. And I'm sure that as we get introduced to more characters, we can even discuss it more in the future. I think would be really awesome.
I mean, even like what y'all are saying about, particularly with Shannon, she definitely seems to be rejecting it, and that is almost exactly like exemplified in how she's dressed. So like, yeah, I think you're right on the money with that, Madison. Like, even from my little like sort of exposure to this, I'm already getting like if not refusing like adulthood, then definitely refusing like the pressure that comes with being an adult, especially in the Urshiramiya like household or with that name.
Well, you met Jessica again. You've confused their names, haven't you?
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, Jessica. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shannon, not so much.
No, but
Shannon just wants to show leg. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, girl. I think with Shannon, maybe this just isn't having enough faith in Ryukishi, but I feel like sometimes he forgets the age gap he wrote between her and George. Because
I
think
so.
George.
Oh no! Oh, don't say that! Don't say that! No.
hear me out. This is my personal take. Some of the other people who finished disagree with me. I feel like George is very conscious about navigating the power imbalance between them in terms of, master servant. Like he gives an order when she says like, "Oh no, I couldn't accept this," and it's like, well, I'll make you accept it, but you get to make the decision yourself. And
That's
I
still an
personally
order.
found ordering someone to make a decision is still giving them their autonomy.
He made her take the ring.
Yeah, but he told
It's
her
still in
she
order to
doesn't.
take the ring.
Yeah, but we've
just
disagreed about this before, and can I please finish my thought first, though?
Yeah, let
Please.
Madison finish
Fine.
the talk.
She is ordered to accept the ring, but like Bob said, she is like very shy and demure and set in her role. I do appreciate that he's sort of working with her in that sense, and though she is forced to accept it, she's not told to accept it as a proposal. He specifically tells her that part she has to decide herself. And personally, I found the whole thing kind of cute. And obviously Yon disagrees.
Yeah, for many reasons.
I think that a good thing to keep in mind is that George is not intentionally like predating, even though it's obviously
Right, like
he doesn't
I want to
know
give him
about
the grace
how
because
Shannon exactly how her mind works.
yeah, I want to give him that sense of grace though, because I feel like the way he approached the proposal shows his attempt to try and navigate it. If you think he did a bad job navigating it, I could understand that, but
Yeah, I think that one of the
What you're
things that
talking about is two different things. You're talking about intent and result at the same time. And I think that's a longer discussion that needs to happen at a later time. We only just met everybody. And you're not speaking from a newbie standpoint here. So that's what I'm saying. We can come back to this later in more detail.
Oh, I hope we come back to it. Like, I hope that this wasn't a one and done thing. Like, we're no examination on Ryukishi's end. Like, yeah.
It is discussed more. I just think the ages don't come up as much. And
I don't think that's true.
All right.
Okay.
The bridge will be crossed when it comes to it.
Later, yes.
Alrighty.
This early in the story, no need to get into big arguments yet.
Oh no! No, we're just having a conversation. It's all good. We're all friends here.
I thought fisticuffs were about to come out. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna punch iCat. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Yeah, Bob hates minorities. You see.
Whoa.
Don't get me started on minority. Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
It's already clipped. It's already clipped.
Fuck.
See, Bob, you're doing the battler thing. You're lightening the mood by making yourself the joke.
Yeah.
Oh, he is Bobbler. He is Bobbler.
Oh no, it is I. Oh my god. Yeah, I just want to highlight this real quick. I appreciate both of your perspectives, and I can't wait to have more discussions like this because I can see a lot. Like, one of the things that Ryukishi does really well, and we already had a lot of this discussion with Silent Hill F. There have been a lot of like contentious, like sort of like arguments about and discussions about like sympathy for the devil type situations. Like, I have very strong feelings about Rosa, but already when we were talking about it, people in the chat were like getting me to realize that, like, look, she's a human. Humans are capable of making mistakes. And with my like sort of strong opinions on, what she did, like, even like I can come to that discussion and be like, oh, okay, there is a level of grace I am like putting aside here for my own reasons. But I am totally like cool with having that conversation, especially when it comes to Silent Hill F and like the whole idea that like your parents are human beings, they're capable of making mistakes. Thinking like they're gods is like literally a thing that came from when you were a child, and because you were relying on them so much that they felt godlike, they felt all powerful, they felt like you couldn't like criticize them or like. And so as you grow older, it's like you've got to becoming older is affording them a little bit of grace. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like sympathize with. You don't have to do anything other than all that Ryokishi is asking is like for you to understand their perspective and then make not to just throw them out because they are family. And like I really appreciate that discussion and what it's done. Why did it play Stupefaction now? Why is the ominous music playing now?
Family is evil. That's
Yeah,
why.
family is evil.
That is one note that
But is it?
Ola wanted to add.
Yes, okay.
About children and the family. Like, obviously, these parents are treating their children as their property, not really giving them their full humanity, just kind of living the way that the parents would want them to see as successful for their children, and that kind of disregards what they want, and especially with George and Jessica, because those two are kind of battling for the grandchild inheritance, and let's see, Jessica is getting more pressure because she's a woman, and that has added you're not the patriarchal you're not your own person. And since George is the child of a I think it's called branch family, because he's not the first in line grandchild. They both have, between George and Jessica, they both have their own angsts that they need to work through to earn their, I guess, throne.
Yeah, it's definitely... Was Battler the first child?
No, George was. He's
George
23.
was? Why is Battler named Battler then?
Because he's the protagonist.
I also just think, like, out of the grand scheme of, and, Oren brought this up as well, everyone else kind of has normal-ish English names, and I think Rudolph just kind of wanted to be silly and just named his kid Battler, which is not a very typical American name. Or English name, rather.
I will point out that when Onji first got mentioned, Battler's younger sister, Yon was very insistent about the pronunciation because, while in English that name would be pronounced Angie, it's from French, and the katakana like writing of it in game does use the French pronunciation, which is actually interesting because Battler is technically French as well. I remember Bob mentioning, oh wow, Battler feels a bit like Keiichi, but like min-maxed, and Keiichi was always called like the magician of words in some scenes, whereas the magician arcana in tarot cards is Le Battler in French. I'm probably butchering that, but...
By the way, Bob,
So-
when you say he's min-max, what stats has he maxed out?
I think his definitely like his intelligence all the way min. His personability has been maxed. Like he seems like, I don't know why, but he seems more like, this might be weird to say, but
Like
he's
personable?
Definitely personable. Definitely like what I'm trying to get at is like he has a social like sort of understanding about him. Like he definitely seems to get along with everybody. Like I don't think
he doesn't have the same blunders that Keiichi does.
Yeah, he didn't. Oh, I almost. Yeah, no, he's not. Yep. Nope. Definitely didn't do a thing. Anyway.
The thing, yeah.
Battler may be able to read a room better than Keiichi.
Yes. Battler seems like he would, like what y'all were insinuating with me doing it earlier. He seems to be able to understand when there's like a strife happening, and George didn't do this. Jessica didn't do this. When Rosa started hitting Maria, who came to help? It was Battler. Battler was like, whoa. Like, let's, like, do you have to, and I understand that there's like 6 years of, Jessica and George like being normalized to this behavior from Rosa. But like, Battler is, I think even if like, no matter how many times Battler would see that, to me, Battler would always be like, hey, like, let's, and yes, I think that Battler is fucked up by like not putting it to an end right there, then and there. I don't think, he's also a kid. He's not in a position to like tell Rosa like what to do or like how to parent. But at the same time, like, I just can't help but just feel bad that, Maria was put in that position, and to have like these people just around her, like being like, oh yeah, that's normal. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I would have loved if Battler Falcon punched her, but unfortunately that's not possible.
Yeah,
I do think that...
Sorry, go ahead.
I do think that your experience with like having Rosa high tier and then having your hopes dashed at that scene, I think that does reflect how Battler felt, because he probably didn't know about this going on since Maria was like 3 at the last time that he saw Rosa interacting with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but in terms of min-max, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like Keiichi he definitely had intelligence. He was smart. The kid knew a lot of things. He wasn't like, I mean, his sort of position in the game, the club that they had, he knew enough to like not make an ass out of himself all the time. At least on, inadvertently. If he made an ass out of himself, I think he tried to do that on purpose. Yeah. Battler more so. I think Battler is definitely, there's an aspect of Battler where it's like, I don't really know him. And the reason I say that is because I don't know how much of this is just him.
Like, this is his personality trying to conform to the family versus his like real,
who he really is. I also think that Battler knows who he is in this situation, and he's sort of like leaning into that, maybe a little bit too much. But I also think that the thing that I really want from Battler is to him to come out and be like, y'all fucking suck, because he has been away, I imagine, and didn't want to come back for a reason. And I think that the reason is potentially like maybe how they treated his mom, maybe how like he picked up on some of the stuff. Then again, he was really young when all this stuff was happening. It's just in my head, I'm imagining him like sort of having to deal with these chuckle fucks, and then shit coming to a head and him realizing like, well, fuck you all. Like, I don't have to deal with any of this shit anymore. But the reason I say that he's like maybe kind of hiding himself is because he's playing a role, and when he displays this level of like stupidity, especially with George, where I feel like he's playing, how like the youngest sometimes and the oldest, and all of the roles of the siblings of a family, the children in a family, like they all kind of play roles sometimes. Like, I don't know if y'all are the oldest, but I'm the oldest of my family, and sometimes I really feel like I'm not me. I'm playing the role of the older brother. I need to do these things. And I feel like Battler in this situation understands that he's like the outsider, but still has blood here. So he's kind of like, he probably feels guilty. And I think that at a certain point he voiced this. I think he feels guilty about being away for so long. And I think that one of the things that when he was talking to Kyrie, he displayed a level of understanding of what she was talking about that made it sound like she coached him for this. Like they had conversations about, if not this situation, then definitely situations like this. Like she has taught him to be empathetic in a way that like Or I don't know. It was. I keep forgetting the difference between empathy and sympathy. Numbers called me out on this, like for when we were doing the Higurashi
in
stuff.
this instance, empathy makes sense to think about how others feel and to put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, and then sympathy would be okay.
I do think it's very interesting also his relationship with Kirei that we've seen, in that he seems very on good terms with her here, and like it's I think it's very common in Japanese culture for when there's a situation with like a man and like his second wife or a woman like that it's oftentimes the case to blame the woman for the man, his relationship changing or something like that, and to put all of the blame onto her. Like, I think you could even be sued for certain things that aren't suable here.
What?
But he clearly puts a lot more blame onto his dad here, because like he's definitely like totally fine with his stepmom.
Yeah,
but it's just
in a
his
way,
dad.
In a way that doesn't feel right to me. In a way that feels like either he doesn't seem like this kind of guy, but in a way that feels like he doesn't understand, or he doesn't. It's weird. He either doesn't understand enough to care, or he understands enough to not care. Does that make sense? Like,
right.
He either has the social grace to understand that his dad is the one who sucks, and he's always calling him. And definitely, this seems to be why. This is why I'm saying, like, I think there's something. There's more to Balor. Also, hi Elise, and thank you for the raid. I think there's more. Like, I think he's hiding, like, kind of who he is, because he seems like he knows he's on shit. Like, he knows the thing where I was going with George and him is like their dynamic definitely seems to be like he is the younger brother to George's older brother, and George is the one who, like, just how he was talking with oh my god, Shannon, right? Shannon, the woman the girl who
yeah, you're right,
proposed to. Okay. George seems to like to be like sort of that older brother, information giver, person who passes down the knowledge, mansplainer, to put it bluntly. And Battler understands this enough to play the role of the person receiving the knowledge and just kind of go with it, even though he knows, like, he's not a dunce. He's playing up a lot of these things. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
reading the room is a very important skill in Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that big brother dynamic, the first scene I think of is that, like, rose scene where, like, the Maria misses the rose and, like, Battler stands up and it's like, yo, chill up. But then George is like, well, now Battler, we should stay out of the other family's business. And I think that kind of is a great example of that kind of role structure.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because and that's the thing that I really hope that, like, Ryukishi, like, brings up later, of just, like, sometimes that shit doesn't matter. Like, this shouldn't be happening. Like, beating kids, like, no.
Yeah, George is very skilled at maintaining harmony, I think.
Yeah, and
whether that's appropriate or not is another matter.
And that's what I want to see criticism of. That's what I want to see this story analyze, because I hate that shit. There's so many fucking bad stories in real life that have resulted from families trying to keep the peace, Like, oh, can't rock the boat. Let's just keep things as they are. You don't want to, like, no one needs to know that Uncle Ray is a fucking racist piece of shit dipshit. Like, fucker. Anyway, don't read into that. That's definitely not a real person. Anyway,
that's okay. I won't read into it.
Okay, thank you. Pained smile. But, like, Hello Mouse is rating with 131 people. Hello, we are just starting Umineko, and we're talking about it. So, hello everybody.
Covering the first 10 chapters the first night.
First 10 chapters. Yeah, good point. First 10 chapters.
So
that is a Also, a very excellent emote you have there.
Oh, look at that. There you go. So, yeah, so Battler, smartest character, best character. I think we proved it. Also, yeah, and FYI, everybody who's watching now, all of you raiders, we figured it out. I'm the first person to figure out Umineko. I just guessed it automatically. Can someone contact Ryokishi so I can have my reward mailed to me?
Mr. Bobvid, who do you think is the dumbest character?
The dumbest character?
You said someone was the smartest character. Who's the dumbest?
See, that's the thing. Battler is like strategically dumb. I think that's my point. I think that he knows how to read a room. I think he's real. Like, I know we've only played like 10 chapters, but like he seems like almost deceptively cunning. Like I or at least maybe this is me just hoping that that's the case. The dumbest character, it feels rude. Thank you for the follow, Kaylee Gal.
Just say Goda. We all know.
It's Goda. It's Goda.
He can cook food, and that's about it.
It's Goda.
That's all he needs to do.
I mean, if we're going by grades, sorry, Jessica.
Oh, by the way, for the new viewers, Bob's S tiers are Maria, Natsuhi, Ava, Kyrie, and Rosa's all the way at the bottom.
Where's Boat Driver?
Boat Driver,
the story wouldn't happen without the boat driver.
Okay, you convinced me,
The
Esther.
boat is on the sea. C tier.
Oh yeah, there you go. You know what's also on the sea? Gulls. I hear they cry.
Actually, I thought they float above the sea.
Very good.
I don't know. What does Ryokishi have to say about this? We need Ryokishi to weigh in.
B tier because they float above the sea.
Thanks, I hate it. So yeah, like, okay, did we want to go anywhere else?
I do have a few more notes on the family dynamics.
Please, note away.
Well, with Maria, we obviously have gone into a lot of discussion about how Rosa treats her, but if you noticed beforehand, you could even see Rosa being kind of tired with her neurodivergence, even when she's like acting kind. I have a neurodivergent sibling, and it is easy to see those, how the parent reacts to stuff.
There's an aspect of that
on.
too. What is it called? It's like caretaker fatigue or something. I forget the exact wording for it, but yeah, apparently it's a common thing to just. I think there was a book written about it by a famous YouTuber too, where I forget the shape of you, not the shape of water. No, that's not.
I would be very interested in like learning more about that. If you can please, put
I
a
will
link to that in the chat.
I will try to find that right now for you.
And Olo, who has these notes, also had the theory that Rosa was treating Maria this way as like partly shame for the father being out of the picture, and that is an interesting theory that I don't really know anything about, and something that I wouldn't have picked up on.
Oh, that's right. When you noticed that Rosa's partner was not there, you found that very interesting.
And
Bob, I'm talking about you, man.
Sorry, what? I was looking for the thing.
Mr. Bob Lid reporting.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was saying.
I can't multitask at all. I'm so terrible at it. I'll look for the book after. I'll look for the book.
Yeah, as long as get that.
Yeah, I was saying that you thought it was very interesting that Maria's dad was not involved.
Where's Maria's dad? Like I don't understand that and some of this shit's weird, man. Like I almost don't want to venture even a guess at some of this stuff because like Jan, your VN made me like kind of laser in on like shit like hair colors and stuff, and it just
in teeth
and eyes. Not gonna spoil your VN, but yeah, I think it's very, very odd.
Maria's the only one with blue eyes, right?
In the original sprites, yes.
Oh god,
they
hair
changed
color.
different sprites?
Yeah, in the PS3 ones, they give a lot more characters colored eyes, but in the original, most of them, I believe, just have like black or dull colored eyes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm seeing in chat, Aperture City asked about the 19th person. We talked about it a little bit. I am going to go out on a limb. I'm just going to guess there is no 19th person. I think that I'm with Kyrie about how someone really, really wants it to seem like there is a 19th person, and I think that person is Kinzo.
Owen was her.
What?
UN Owen was her.
Yes.
Reference.
Okay, yeah.
Also, and then there were none.
Yes. Yeah, literally. Yes, exactly.
I can't fuck. Sorry. My thought just goes to Toho.
That is exactly why I phrased it like that.
I knew it as a Toho song before I knew it was a reference to it, and then never did.
And Lemonade Standing asked, did you know Ryakishi was a social worker? Yes, we played Higurashi. And that was a big... You see it, like, if you haven't played Higurashi, it is shockingly well, like, crafted. It was my first experience with Ryakishi's work, and I was blown away by the level of, like, detail that that the story went into on certain aspects of Japanese culture, and how I won't spoil it, but how certain things are handled in Japan versus like America, and the parallels, and just the way that Ryakishi writes in such an empathetic and understanding way, and deploys it very well. But anyway, where were we? Sorry, I kind of spaced.
I do have 2 more bullet points on the family thing, unless there's something specifically about Maria that we want to go into. And Rosa and the absent father.
Maria's awesome. Oh yeah, the absent father. Yeah, I think that's very interesting. Jan, thank you for reminding me. There are a couple glaring holes on this character chart when you in the game, when you right click and you look at the characters. It's just like, okay, the mothers of like all of these kids, like of Kinzo's children, where they're just not there. And I think that will come into play with I hate that my mind went to a bad joke there. Kinzo and I think the mothers will come into play with like, because I'm noticing that like all of his kids are representative of like almost different like cultures, or like, how do I say this? There's enough of a difference in like the names and even like just their general like their clothing, where it makes me think that like, did Kinzo have children with women strategically? Like, was there did he manufacture like the relationships there? And like, I just don't know. And the fact that they're not I don't know if it's like one mother or multiple. To me, it seems like they would have multiple. He would have multiple wives. I think that's mentioned at one point. I don't know. Let me know if I'm like misremembering shit.
I do remember that they did mention, Battler mentioned something about how grandmother would talk about the witch. So I think that there at least was like a grandmother figure at some point.
Yeah. So.
And I believe it did mention that he was engaged to someone because of his family as opposed to what he wanted to do.
Right.
When they talked about the earthquake and the the family origins and all that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know if it was like he had a partner and then mistresses, or like I'm getting that vibe. Like maybe I shouldn't be, but that's kind of that's what I'm getting. But in terms of like the glaring holes in the chart, that's a main one. The other one being where is Maria's father or Rosa's partner? Like, I think it's very strange. Then again, is it because I don't know, why would they? I mean, the other partners are here, but at the same time, like, he wouldn't be in a power position. Like, he wouldn't be in a position to like. I almost
like with
I almost hate to say it, but there is one. I actually don't want to say it because
is it a specific subtext that's kind of horrifying to you?
Yep.
I understand.
If somebody else already in the family tree.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm seeing one child with red hair, and then there's another kid with red hair, and it gives me the ick. Anyway, I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to put that out there. I love you, Maria. You're the best character.
We put it out there
tier.
for you.
Can you actually put that put Maria in S+ tier? Can you make that change? Put her above everyone else. That's where she belongs. Ooh. Anyway, I don't know what that means. I love that fucking scene.
And that I felt that like echo through. Oh, I've heard this conversation with my family. Like, okay, I know that this is your verbal tick, but you can't do that. I want an actual answer.
I just love the because it's funny because no one knows what it exactly means, but it's not meant to mean exactly something. It's just how she feels. That's the way that I feel when she says it. It's like she's excited. That's what it means. That's what she's saying. Like,
people have verbal ticks all the time, right?
Yeah.
Just getting through quickly, expanding the how the parents talk about treat their children. We can take that one generation above and see if perhaps Kinzo has that same relationship to his children, if he doesn't see them as actual people, but as ungrateful inheritors or tools for him to progress his dream. And, we have seen hints that Kinzo was not the nicest father, so it isn't hard to imagine that he doesn't have the nicest philosophy for his children.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's straight up like, I know it doesn't really, like, I don't know. I'm kind of with him where I'm just, I don't know if y'all are like this when family gatherings are happening and you just want to stay in your room. And that's kind of what Kinzo's doing. But
Kinzo comes down and we're like, oh, look
who's finally joined. Yeah, no. But like, he's also the father. He's like the father. He doesn't have much time left. Say hi to your kids, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? Anyway, it's a little, I don't want to infer too much, but like it seems to be exemplary of that relationship where he's just like kind of like, I don't want to, abuse seems too like harsh of a word, but it's definitely like not cool. Is that the psychological term of not very cool?
Why would it be too harsh of a term here?
And if we can see like the progression of like parents trying to do better than their parents, you see how bad each of these parents are. We can only imagine it was probably worse.
Like I think you can definitely see the separation between how the kids discuss the matter of money and the epitaph versus the way the adults do.
Yeah.
And I would also probably kind of argue like the way that Kinzo talks about his family is incredibly derogatory and cruel. And there's a really strong sense of just the resentment that he has for them that I think you could definitely argue has strong tendencies towards emotional abuse, if nothing else, too.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing the thing that like so many people do and don't even realize that it's like abusive of just like, oh, I'm mad,
Maria
I'm neglecting.
to the eye.
Yeah, what? Okay, Kinzo, like you're in the straight in the trash can. Get in there. We've got a new trash can, man. We got a new character to put in the trash can and set it on fire.
He also hit Jessica's butt with a sword.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. When did that happen?
She's referencing a line where Jessica says he hit me on the ass with a kendo stick, my maidenly ass. Is what Jessica says in particular. Jessica's great.
My maidenly ass. Jessica's
She's
also innocent.
like Mion.
Oh yes.
She is so silly. And the one last bullet point on this is kind of more complex, so I'm just gonna like give an overview. You know, the theory of like how racism developed with capitalism, and they both reinforced each other and spiraled. There's also an idea of how policing women and women's sexuality and it all worked together with capitalism.
I want to preface
to enrich people and further oppress women, and we can definitely see the sexuality of the mothers in this family like being under a ton of scrutiny because they are so rich and the inheritance is so scrutinized.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, the way that the family register works is that Ava and Rosa are only able to stay as official members of the family because Ava convinced her husband to marry into the family.
Mm-hmm.
To be literally adopted, by the way, which is actually very common. Like adult adoption is like 98% of all adoption in Japan. So, and that's typically done in cases where like there isn't an appropriate male heir in a family or in a business situation. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jan. It's just it is just as she says, where it's like Ava can only remain on the registry because of that, and Rosa can only remain on the registry because she isn't married. Because you only leave a registry of the family when you get married. And at the same time, though, even though she can stay in the family, there's a powerful taboo in the fact that Maria does not have a listed father on her registry. Like there's literally a marker on the Koseki, the family registry, where if you have a child out of wedlock, it literally gets marked as you had a child out of wedlock. And so that's like a really interesting subtext that you wouldn't know unless you all were constantly exposed to that. It's never addressed in the story that I can think of directly, but it's interesting to me.
Yeah, there's an even further detail on that Battler didn't just leave, like, go live with his grandparents. He also left the family registry, which is
right.
It's a different process entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I remember that, I believe. I think that's one of the things that flavored my idea of like, I don't think he likes these people. Like, I think that at the very least, he doesn't like his dad. And I think that he doesn't like, I don't think he likes him enough. I don't think, okay, how do I say this? Because I am very similar to Battler in that way, where I have learned that the best way to treat a family member or a parent who just isn't a parent or doesn't care about it as just, you're just another person. You're just a person who happened to have me and you didn't really raise me. You're not really a mother or a father at all. You're just a person. And it's kind of like a defense mechanism because the opposite of like, you're not worth giving a shit about is like really difficult to process. And so it's just like the easy way of doing it is just being like, I'm just not going to talk to you about this. I'm just going to treat you like a regular person. Oh, you're having sex with my stepmom? Cool. Great. I don't care. That aspect though is just comically like it's ridiculous, because who the fuck wants to hear about their dad fucking like
and jerking off in the bathroom?
Like who? Like what are these jokes? Like that's why I'm like he has to like something like I think that we are similar.
Yeah, I mean,
like he says those crude jokes as like a defense, like
exactly,
on, like disrespecting them in that way to distance myself from
exactly. That's 1000% what I was getting at. And real quick before I forget, the YouTube video, I'll post it in here. It's a wonderful video about a mental illness in fiction. I've been rewatching it in order to get back to, I don't know, maybe a piece of content that I've put on the back burner for way too long that will not be named, I swear to God. Anyway, and the
large, the small one.
No. I will fucking mute you. Anyway, the book I was talking about was Turtles All the Way Down. It was I believe that was written by John Green. It had this really interesting idea in it that the YouTube video brings up. YouTuber is Hello Future Me, by the way. Really, really good video. Highly recommend it. But it's about very difficult topics, so please, you don't have to watch it if you don't feel like it. But the quote is, "A lot of you is a lot," that he's talking to. The character is talking to I believe it's a family member who is dealing with several like sort of mental issues, and like kind of understanding that like coming to terms with not and understanding how like how other people may feel burdened by just your like burdens, or how you feel like you're a burden. It's a really interesting like sort of examination of it. It's not meant to be literally saying, I don't believe, I haven't read it, but in the context that it was brought up in the video, it was really about like understanding that, there is a level of effort, energy that goes into just being a caretaker. And caretaker fatigue is a very real thing. Caretaker fatigue, I believe, was specifically brought up in what was it that The Pit, I believe, the HBO show about a Pittsburgh ER. Very good show, by the way. I haven't watched the second season, but the first season is really good. Anyway, sorry, I rambled. I completely went off the.
I don't know why,
end.
but when you mentioned The Pit, my thought was that Poe story where the guy gets thrown in a hole.
The pendulum?
No, that's
the castle.
Oh, the pendulum! Oh my God!
There's a really good Vincent Price audiobook version of it.
Yeah. Oh, and I've been listening to for some reason I'm bringing this up, the version of There Will Come Soft Rains that I was listening to by oh my God, why can't I remember his name? Ray Bradbury. How could I forget Ray Bradbury's fucking name? There Will Come Soft Rains, and that one, the audiobook read by a certain Leonard Nimoy. So yeah, that was a real good one.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. Anyway,
can I ask like a quick question? Just
Sure.
like regarding the wedlock thing, were you describing? I forgot who said it, but like, were you describing like a 1980s Japanese thing or something that continues today? Regarding like the birth.
Sorry, what? Are you confusing me with Gail?
What was the question again?
It was about how you mentioned how like on the birth chart, whatever, it's like they would check like if it was born out of wedlock. Were you describing something in 1980s or like something that still happens today?
This is something that still happens today. The Koseki system has not been overturned in many years. South Korea also had it, I think, due to the colonization of Korea by Japan, and they actually completely got rid of the system because of how deeply misogynistic it was.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting. I that was in my mind. I just was curious if you could clarify. Thank you.
Oh yeah. I kind of want to talk about it about the Koseki system more in the future, but I've still been doing research on it, so I'm not totally ready to talk about it more. But it's a very complex thing that I think has a lot of relevance to Umineko.
I'm sure you'll be ready. I believe in you.
It's also,
we all believe in Gail.
We believe in Gail.
It's also extremely common right now for women to keep their husbands' surnames in Japan, though there
98%.
Whoa.
Yeah, though there is a good amount of support for changing that law at the moment, or I don't know if it's a law, but like changing that so that they don't have to.
Yeah, to bring up just Silent Hill F again, like a big part of the whole like her family cutting her off and being like, well, you're no longer part of this family was, a reference to that entire system, right? She was no longer going to be
herself
part of the family, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she would become another. Yeah, and that's all the symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Not to spoil Silent Hill F, we should probably not. Not that that's a spoiler, but like, yeah, there is symbolism. There will come soft symbolism.
By the way, in the same vein as this, of course, another thing that you have to think about is it also applies for Natsuhi here, is that she is no longer part of her old family. She is only part of this family. And she has been part of this family for a very long time with just this family.
And she's still treated like absolute dog shit. Man.
She has to put up with all these people for so long.
Clever.
It's very compelling. It's a very compelling character.
I mean, they're all really
dynamic.
compelling.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you dropped out. That's why I started talking. I did not mean. You know how I feel about interrupting Gail, and how I feel about interrupting Jan.
I was interrupting you. There is this one detail that I've been sitting on to nudge Gail to talk about that I think is very important, that is kind of goes under the radar for us outside of Japan, but it was mentioned some about Kinzo's background and developing his fortune.
Yeah. Would it be okay if I talked about it a little bit? I promise it's not spoilers. This is something that's broadly subtext, I would argue.
Sure.
It's something that maybe Japanese people would know better than I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, it's
twice. Gail, did you get that?
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah, Gail's literally like next to me in the room.
I figured.
Yawn into the bubble.
It's every time you started talking like that it echoed. It was like, oh, I think Jan's ascending.
Forgive me.
Oh no, Jan is in the sea of fragments. We can't get her back.
But yeah, I would love to talk a little bit about the. She is, but I would love to talk a little bit about the Korean War and war profiteering.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Oh yeah.
So, the source of Kinzo's wealth, they pretty much state, is because of war profiteering, essentially. Now, a lot of this is kind of rooted in the Japanese economic miracle, which started in 1955, which is where Japan's economic stability returned to what it was prior to World War II, and which was considered like massive because this happened in 1955, only 10 years after the war ended. However, Kinzo's wealth started kind of building in the late 40s, early 50s because of the Korean War. The Korean War started in 1950, which I'm sure that people know pretty broadly. And Japan was not a combatant in it because Japan has their constitution. It has, I believe it's Article 9, which basically completely demilitarized the country after World War II. So to this day, they don't have a standing military. And that meant that they couldn't be a part of the conflict, even though America was kind of like, they could be really useful. But so instead, what America decided to do was to use Japan as a baseline military base. So you have like military bases in places like Okinawa, I think to this day, which is a huge point of contention about American occupation. But essentially, what Japan ended up doing was producing war materials for America to then utilize in the conflict in Korea. And this ends up being like war munitions. This ends up being like aiding with battleships. This ends up being aiding with like hospitals. And so you have like a huge amount of money going into Japan. You have a lot of war tourism going into Japan. You have sex tourism going into Japan. And this is broadly, hugely what leads to this economic miracle, to the point that the then Prime Minister of Japan referred to it in a very tone-deaf manner as a gift from the gods, which is horrifying to say the least. Now, the reason that I kind of think this is so fucked up is because Japan colonized Korea for more than 30 years, and which only ended due to World War II and like Japan being demilitarized. So you have Japan profiting off a war that is very much their fault. Japan's colonization of Korea involved like the theft of thousands of cultural artifacts. It had the rejection of like Korean language and terms, forcing them to change their names. The destruction of like cultural locations, and like taxation reaching upwards of 50%, as well as what many people are aware of as comfort women, where Japanese soldiers would take and rape Korean women again, another form of sex tourism and sex trafficking. So the entire context that we have of how Japan engaged with Korea, both prior to the war and after the war, really informs to me the idea and issues around the way that Kinzo managed to gain his wealth. The game literally states, grandfather knew beforehand about the emergency demands that would be made for the Korean War, so he was very cognizant and able to use his existing knowledge of Japan's colonization, the rising tensions in Korea, to then leverage his status with GHQ, General Headquarters, and American forces to like use the legend of the gold, as they kind of stated in the text, to get loans and to get backing and to then remake a lot of these businesses that had been destroyed by the Great Kanto earthquake. And of course, like they also say things like he contacted GHQ for the establishment of a marine resource base, which became the Rokunjima Island that they live on, which again is the kind of thing that literally only happened because of the colonization of Korea and the Korean War. And even to the point where Tokyo and Japan tried to take the island back, and Kinzo again went to GHQ and leveraged his money and leveraged his connections with them to ensure that he could maintain the island as his own belonging, which is really fucked up, considering that America was also sort of like the ones that went to the Zaibatsu, which I kind of mentioned a little bit when we were doing Higurashi. The Zaibatsu are basically monopolies that were held throughout Japan. And America broke up those Zaibatsu, but they basically came back because of the Korean War and that war profiteering. Like companies like Mitsubishi, which I'm sure you're familiar with, only exists today because of this. There's a lot more that can be said about this, but that's sort of like the basic overview of it. And it's again like something that I think a lot of Americans would know about, like Japan being essentially a rear base for the invasion of Korea.
Yeah, I had no idea. It's really fascinating how. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I think you could even consider Kinzo like as a comparison to the Japanese economy itself over the 20th century. Like you could look at the Ushiyama family and their like ups and downs, and then kind of re-emerging following the war, and then as of the 80s they got a fucking mountain of gold.
Yeah, it's the bubble economy, which would go on until 1992 is when the bubble economy finally popped. So at this point in 1986, the real estate prices over the top. Things are massive, going great economically for everyone, which is why it's really funny that everyone needs a lot of money right now. But I do want to say as well, even though I'm very critical of Japan in this context, and I believe that Ryukishi is also critical of Japan in this context, they also didn't have a choice. there is literally no world where America would not have used Japan, and Japan was able to leverage this as a way to get rid of the occupation of America in the country in 1952, which was about a year before the war in Korea would end. But yeah, very fucked up situation. It's very interesting to me, and I think it's very significant that Rikishi utilized this in his broader metaphor about capitalism.
Yeah, and that's the other aspect of this that I kind of neglected to talk about. It definitely comes off as like these characters are. I'm already getting the vibe that like they're representative of larger conversations, pointed conversations, worldly conversations, in the same way that Higurashi is secretly, overtly the story of a small town and secretly a much larger conversation. I won't say anything more than that, but the way that Rikishi writes is like I was actually kind of shocked that Silent Hill F wasn't more like worldly, even though it is. What I mean by worldly is like taking. It seems like Silent Hill F is more of a pointed criticism of the way that women were treated in Japanese society. In like when did that game take place? It was like the
60s.
The 60s. So I was a little surprised that it wasn't more like opened up to, because that's kind of what I'm used to Rikishi like kind of writing about. But it definitely feels like this is going to be that conversation that I feel is a logical extension of where Higurashi was, where Higurashi ended up, is like a really.
I think he's a lot more comfortable criticizing what Japan does to itself and others than like criticizing other countries and other cultures, because I get the sense that he writes out of respect very often, even when he is very pointed and very firm on certain things. Like he wants to bring up things, I think, that is like other people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
But he also doesn't want to speak for other people unnecessarily. Is the feeling that I get.
It's a really, really tough like tightrope to walk. And I appreciate like that Rikishi. One of the reasons I love like what Rikishi has done and is doing, and hopefully continues to do, is that's one of the greatest things that art can do, is speak truth to power and criticize in a way that gets people to understand. Like sort of, I feel like a lot of people have a tough time sort of putting themselves into other people's shoes, and art is a really great way for people to kind of step out of themselves and understand other people's like sort of viewpoints on things, because it literally puts you into another person's shoes with a lot of the times with these narrative works. And I think that especially like that's one of the reasons why I fucking adore Red Candle, is because of works like the Red Candle games. Like they just do such a fucking fantastic job, like criticizing specific parts of culture. I believe it was Taiwanese culture. I keep wanting to say Hereditary. That is not the name of the game. It's one of my favorite games. Why can't I remember the name of it? Hold on. Devotion. Thank you. I kept wanting to say Detention, and I was like, that's wrong, dude. That's wrong. Detention's great too, though, by the way. Detention's awesome. The only reason I would put Devotion, like honestly, they're so good. Why even rank them? Like they're both fantastic. Play them, please. But yeah, like I love this conversation. I love where this seems like it's going, and also I love that the themes being brought up are so like, it really feels like Rikishi's going to say something grand about. Okay, one of the things that I'm getting from the story right now is a commentary on the nature of worth, like what things are worth, how people perceive things to be worthy. And I'm really fascinated in this idea of like the gold bars. I'm really fascinated in this idea of like, I'm trying to figure out if Kinzo is aware of this or if he is being manipulated by how he feels about worth. Like either way, it's going to say something, but I'm just really fascinated in like if this is purposeful. Like if he is, because I remember at the beginning of the game, like at the very, very beginning when Kinzo's like shouting, the authority, he's saying like something about his kids. I can't remember exactly what he's saying, but he was saying something about how like they'll learn, or like I'll make them learn, or they have to learn about like, oh no, I think he said like they'll never learn. They don't get it. They don't understand like what I understand. And I'm really fascinated about what he means by that, and if he means like the way that they are now isn't good. Like the way that they feel about worth, and how they're just lusting after money and like trying to vie for the inheritance is like not really what's important, because at the end of the day they could all lose their money. It's not really like, I don't know, that seems almost kind of like, I don't want to say beneath Ryakishi, but it feels like it's almost too simple, and Ryakishi never writes simply. Like I think that's the deception that he's deploying here. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, well, don't correct me if I'm wrong because I don't want to be spoiled, but I think that one of the reasons that Umineko has shocked a lot of people is because I think it's going to do a lot more than what people initially think. I think that it's going to bring up a lot of really complicated conversations, and really kind of drill down into them and get you to really understand the topics being brought up in ways that you maybe didn't understand or appreciate before. And I think that sort of deceptively simple at the start and then deliciously complex at the end is going to be very, I'm excited to keep going. I really want to know why this is like the game that like changed people's lives. I need to finish this. So delightfully devilish. And we will.
If I can jump in on what you just said there, I mean, you were kind of hinting that, yeah, I mean, it almost like from what he's like, he definitely criticizes the siblings, Klaus and Ava in particular, for their attitudes about money. And I mean, kind of considering the challenge and the epitaph and the puzzle, I'm very briefly tempted to think, what if family is the real treasure? But looking at it, I mean, Kinzo's not the person that would teach that lesson. So
that's why I'm like, it seems like that's why I'm saying it's like that's almost like reductive to a ridiculous degree. Like I have no doubt that there is a level of that there is a part of that in this, but I don't think that it's going to be like, I don't know if something Silent Hill Effian is going to happen with Kinzo and a certain character from that game, who will remain nameless to avoid spoilers. Anyways, I love talking vaguely. It's great. Definitely productive. Says Aperture City. Sonic the Hedgehog. There, I spoiled it. So yeah, unless anyone had anything else to add.
I got some stuff.
Go for it.
I had like some stuff in the document, but also doubling back to like Gail's history stuff. I have like additional history stuff of my own I can add in, just throw in.
Sure.
I think it might be interesting. Just so like as an addendum. One, I think it's interesting to note in the case of like the Korean War, a lot of the South Korean leadership put in place by the US was also people who directly worked under the Japanese government as like the sort of Quisling leader. So I think there's like some degree of continuity there with like Japan's involvement in the Korean War as well. Two, I think a thing that in the case of the bubble economy, it's an interesting. I think one of the things cited as like a cause for that is like when the U.S. sort of made Japan sign the Plaza Accords, which had an effect of devaluing Japan's currency. And there's a thing that's like name dropped by Hideyoshi directly, so I thought it was interesting. Especially in the conversation of, oh man, Japan's economy is going to be so good forever now, which is pretty funny.
There's a very good intentional joke with Kraus as like predicting things just too early.
Yeah.
So he's putting all of his ducks in the wrong, right, that's not the right term. All of his
in the
eggs
wrong
in the wrong
basket.
basket here.
All eggs.
All of his ducks in the wrong row.
All his C's in the wrong goal.
About real estate at just the worst time.
Yeah, but no, the Japanese
Jan, I'm doing that all the time. Welcome to my
Japanese,
world.
Economic history is so important because as a first-time reader, like 5-6 years ago, I didn't catch up on the fact that they're on like a bubble. Shit's gonna crash soon. So it's like, oh yeah, economy's good, everyone's making money, yeah. But knowing the Japanese history does like make this moment a lot more ironic, as whoever pointed it out. Like,
yeah. And so the last historical note I have, or the other things I wrote down, is just like a bit more bleak, but it's a thing that doesn't usually come up when the subject comes up. In the case of the Great Kanto earthquake, this was a time when Japan already had colonies, not just Korea, but also in China, and also technically like Hokkaido was a settler colony, and Okinawa was technically a colony.
Okinawa? Yeah.
Yeah. Okinawa and Hokkaido were the first colonies. But in any case, yeah. And this meant there was also like a lot of like, as in colonial empires do, a lot of like migrant workers from the colonies to the metropole. And so when the earthquake hit and there was a lot of fire spreading and also water contaminated the wells, because that's what happens in an earthquake, there was a lot of quick to blame like Koreans and other such, and so there was a lot of like ethnic pogroms by the Japanese against like ethnic minorities in Tokyo at the time. And of course, because there's the era of rising fascism, the military was also using the military and police were like quick to be used this as a chance, like, we can liquidate the communists and have due process.
Oh, yes. I saw that a lot in my research too. There was like a huge, just horrifying treatment of Zainichi Korean people as well. Zainichi Korean people being Korean people who went to Japan during the colonization of it, were considered Japanese citizens, are no longer considered Japanese citizens afterward, but are able to remain in the country because of complex reasons around the entire issue of colonization and like inability to the sort of madness that would be deporting like over 1 million people back to Korea. And there's still like a lot of these people in Japan today.
Yeah. And so it definitely is like interesting to me that like the inciting incident for like Kinzo coming onto the stage as like the reviver of the Ushiromiya family's wealth is like tied to this like event that is like soaked in like the blood of Japan's colonized peoples.
Really interesting. I love it.
Especially when you have the war profiting angle.
Yeah, I would say that Higurashi is very subtly also kind of considering this, it's a very small village and you have sort of like these issues around small religions and sort of like the diaspora of these regions kind of being kind of dying out in caste systems and whatnot, which is the issue around caste systems also has a lot of strong connections to, I would say, the way that diaspora within Japan are treated.
And even then you also have like the shafting of rural villages for instance, infrastructure like dams is not uncommon in the case of like U.S. history towards like indigenous reservations as well. So there's like an internal colonization angle as well.
Yeah, lots of connections between America and Japan, which are, I think, really always important for us to consider as Americans. Or, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that there are plenty of viewers and participants who aren't Americans, but like, just thinking about it.
Yeah, like even in the case of like Hokkaido, Japan like literally got American advisors to be like, how do we do this? Because you did such a good job on your place. Before the actual stuff I wrote down, I like had to think about how structures and institutions can shape people or self-select for certain types of people. Where we have obviously there's a rich family of rich people who are maybe not the nicest, as rich people tend to be. And Kinzo's talk about like how his children are vultures, and it's like that seems to be just like in some ways how the structure of this kind of family, like bougie aristocratic family with like their inheritance and all those kind of issues happens, like not just the wealth corruption, but sort of like the property aspects, which of course were touched upon in the case of like children, women as property earlier, but just like how the conflict of inheritance drives the family into like opposition to each other, and you know, they have the accusation of like Kraus embezzling, and like it's not like they actually care about the ethics and legality of Kraus embezzling.
They're
but
just using
it definitely
it.
is useful leverage.
Yeah.
You know, they do it if they could, and
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Rudolph did in America, it's being suggested, but it's the kind of thing where we can see how the institution of the Ushiromi family, as well as like the, you know, of capitalist society as a whole, is creating like, it's either like making it so that if you're a good person in the Ushiromi family, you're kind of like having us sanded down. In the case, you can see that with George directly when he's like, we shouldn't get involved with you know, other people's families. We see him being like keeping the harmony, because he's just sort of like being taught like the, you know, the sensible way to do things.
Diplomacy is raised above all.
But you also have the case of like, you know, in the context of this patriarchal family, you have Natsuhi and Eva at each other's throats, even though they're both being like crushed by the same system. There's like a crabs in the bucket aspect to their relationship, where like, if Eva like didn't get Hideyoshi adopted, she'd technically be like in a worse position, because she'd have been ejected from the family wholesale. But like, because she's able to like get leverage that way and like stay in the family while being the daughter, she's able to like domineer, like, well, I'm the one with higher status. I think it's also interesting in that context that like Natsuhi thinks about like her role. Oh, I am the wife of the head of the you know, the heir to the family. That means our daughter is going to be the heir to the family, except parentheses, it'll actually be your husband. Which is interesting to think about in our own position, where it's like Jessica's husband would become the heir to the family despite not being of the blood, even though like, because she married into the family, even though she's Kraus's wife, she's like shafted as like an outsider. Which is like, you know, interesting to see like, even in the sort of like the ranking of like family, like the family itself versus the spouses, how the patriarchy manifests, where like, even though like Hideyoshi's kind of like a wife guy, here's a degree to which he's given like not equal footing to Eva, but like he's on like a similar footing. Like he's able to engage in discussions as her partner.
Yeah, he's definitely not like on the level of Kyrie, like at all.
Yeah, Kyrie gets shafted, Natsuhi gets shafted, but Hideyoshi's able to have a seat at the table despite...
Repeat that sentence. Repeat what you just said about Natsuhi and Kyrie. Can you say that a second time?
Oh, they're treated as outsiders. They're shafted.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were just talking about them getting shafted.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think about that. Yeah, they got...
Sorry, was this about moms getting shafted?
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, that's an innuendo, isn't it?
No, it's an innuendo. No, never mind. I didn't say that.
Wow, you went up to me.
I am not beating the Bobbler allegations. It's like him just randomly talking about titty. Anyway, I love that in the discussion, all of this stuff, like canonically, also Battler's in the corner, horny as shit. Like,
Manny's antidepressants, like right now.
Also, I just learned that we have a special guest, Gail's cat.
Yo, hype?
Can we get?
No!
Can we get cat hype in the chat?
We love cats here. It's true. My cat has been a terrible little gremlin, though, as I've been trying to sit here and listen to people talk.
Yeah, Jan is letting us know that your kitty is going nuts on you, just pawing at you. I thought maybe we could. Is your cat vocal?
He makes very tiny noises. He goes just like the tiniest cutest little honks.
Yeah. Like not proper meows, just.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god, cute as hell.
Unfortunately, the Ushinomiya family does not have any pets, which is the greatest tragedy of all.
They have Goda.
Goda puts on cat ears and a fake tail.
They only have furniture.
Only furniture.
Oh, it's true.
You can put cat ears on the furniture.
That is true.
That would be pretty sad and pathetic.
They've also got the seagulls, although they are away for the storm.
Well,
Yeah,
they
they're
are
coming
sea
back.
cats, as we know. They are Uminekos.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, there he is. I see him.
Oh, the cat is what she's referring
He's
to.
right there.
Jesus Christ, there she is. Oh my
The cat
God,
is
it's
stalking
Jason
around
Cat.
like a killer.
He's right behind you.
Jesus Christ, it's that Jason Cadborn.
Oh, the sequel to Bloodborne. So yeah, that was a really Mel, you were talking, and I immediately you made me think of something, and I'm kind of forgetting it now. But you hit on something about what was it? Yeah, it was it was about Kinzo and how like he referred to the kids as vultures, and how he like it seems to be implied that he hates that aspect of his kids. And it made me think of like, I mean, he's a vulture himself. Is that more like him seeing like what he hates about himself and his kids and kind of wanting to get rid of it? Or like, I'm intrigued about where that conversation is going to go. I just noticed a ladybug on my soundproofing.
Or he's just like, oh, well, when I'm the one being vultured, I don't like that.
Yeah,
Well,
either
hold on.
that or like...
Let's address the ladybug first.
Yeah, we need to... it's almost gone.
But no, that's a good question, Mel. What do you think?
It could be maybe column A, column B. Like, he definitely has, he definitely has his own, like, prejudices, like, the way he kind of, like, has a classist aspect. So it's not, like... Especially the way he talks about, like, Rosa as, like, oh, she did this with this guy or whatever, which we'll get more details of later, I assume. But is just a case of, like, I don't know. It feels weird because he feels like he's a lot of things at once, and it's hard to, like, pin down. He's very loud and boisterous, but he's also, like, still a mystery in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, your profile pic's from Subihibi, so I assume you know what it's like to be a lot of persons at once.
So true.
Real VN heads know. Like the
that should be the new name, VN heads. Yeah.
The real VN heads, the 3 people this entire room should know.
I'm not a real VN head. I haven't even finished Umineko.
I'm still a baby VN head.
Baby VN head. Vein heads? No, that sounds no.
no.
Vein
head is a great early-lived rock band from Cincinnati, Ohio.
I don't want to see the emoticon for that. Anyway.
I think it's just like the last point I had on that was just like, it does feel a bit strange that, like, in comparison to his own kids, Kinzo seems to almost have like a friendship with his servants. And like obviously he says he trusts them more than his family, but like obviously he seems to like have some sort of like egging on a friendship with Genji, which, you know, Genji's still like, well, I'm still like a servant, so I can't, you know.
It was even said that Genji is closer to him than his own wife was.
Yeah.
Read into that as you will.
What are they doing with the locked doors? Who can say? But also he's even like, you know, hey, you know, he's like, hey, you know, you want some candy? And then Kanon's like, no, furniture doesn't need candy. He's like, oh, okay, my guy.
Okay. Someone's a little depressed.
So I'm curious to see.
Grabs him in a headlock, gives him a noogie.
It definitely is, like, feels like something in line with like the whole George and Shannon thing as well. Like there's a parallel thing happening there, I think. But also we find out that like a lot of the servants hired directly for the Kinzo's personal servants with like the wing crest, they get to wear the wing crest like the family does. They're like personally adopted from his personal orphanage, which adds a level of like, this is a further level to the pirate dynamic, which maybe is a bit fucked, and we shall see. Especially recalling, no spoilers, but like the last time When They Cry visual novel depicted an orphanage, it wasn't necessarily pleasant. So.
Yeah, it got censored even. The ports actually had to redact information that was there in the original version.
Oh, jeez.
it was heavily redacted. We actually, Gail and I went like line by line, counting and like tracking all of the changes. It was massive.
Yeah. You're talking about Higurashi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was wild. And it's funny because like there are things that selfishly I wish were redacted. But those are the things that are still in the fucking game. It's like, oh god. You took out the most interesting shit.
The cake fucker scenes were very protected.
The cake fucker is the canonical cake fucker. Oh, cake fucker. Why does he fuck the cake? Why? Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, okay. So did anyone else have anything that they wanted to talk about, or are we good to wrap up? It is. I just realized it's almost midnight, so.
Yeah, and I think anything that doesn't get touched on now is we're gonna find relevant places going forward.
Yeah.
Faux show, yeah.
I also realized
Thank
that.
you so much, Bob.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Jan.
Can we get an applause for Bob for being the mastermind? Nope. Applause.
No, I didn't do it. I did nothing.
Applause.
I didn't.
Well done, Bobbler.
What'd I do?
Good job, Bobbler.
You're the protagonist.
Oh my god.
You're the anchor point.
Real shit though. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Gail.
Yeah, thank you all for hanging out and for having a awesome discussion. And
thank you for having me, etc.
Yeah, and I just realized maybe Rosa is not related to Kinzo. Maybe that relationship isn't as fucked as I thought. I'll leave it on that. Anyway, potentially. I don't know. What am I talking about? Who knows? We'll find out on the next one. All right. So again, thank you everybody in here. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Indestructible Cat. Thank you, Kratom Arcana. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Rusty Cat. Thank you, Draconic Wolf. Thank you, Tazriel. And thank you to everyone who joined who isn't here to see us out. But yeah, lovely, lively conversation. And I'm ready and rearing to go for the next one. Really excited to do that. And apparently the next stream that we do, which we got to talk. I want to do it. I'm itching after this conversation. I kind of want to just do it tomorrow, but we'll
the next stream.
Yeah, the next stream, because I really want to get to the. I'm itching to like.
It's fun.
Yeah, I want to know what the hell is going to happen.
Actually, I chose the most boring part to stream. I'm sorry. I chose the most boring part.
Oh well, that can wait until next week.
It's a boring but very important part.
Well, you see, if you only stream the exciting parts, then you're lying to people about what the VN is like.
It's actually going into all the tax codes that apply to all of their family because their bracket, and all of the various relationships they've got. It's very informative.
Yeah, next part you're gonna see the monster truck and Godzilla and like
Yo, sick. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Have a great night.
Right.
Thank you to everybody again. Thank you to everybody in the chat for hanging out. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next. And thank you to everyone in the VOD who's watching this. Y'all are great.
No bad dreams. No bad dreams. That's an order.
Nope.
Thank you to my friends who are watching.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody.
Good night.